Adam member dealers also let you search online. And unlike those national companies, you get to see the vehicle in person and test drive it before you buy it. You also have the assurance that the vehicle's been thoroughly tested, and if any issue does come up, your local Adam member dealer is right here to service it. And can also provide low financing and top dollar for your trade. Think about that before you take a chance with their so-called vending machine.
What? It's stuck! No! Oh, rats!
Start your search at adamm.com.
Hi, Mitzi. What's the news from Kessler's in Brookfield?
Everything's smooth like butter. We're all just marching to the beat of the big bass drum.
That sounds like fun.
Your email said you wanted to talk about 32 things. What are they?
The 32 things are rare and special engagement rings.
Tell me more.
Each one of these amazing rings is just waiting for someone to choose the center stone.
What about the side stones?
All the side stones are Kessler 81s.
81 windows exploding with light instead of just 57 windows that are modestly glowing like most other diamonds.
We have 16 rings in 18 karat gold and 16 rings in platinum.
All they need is a center diamond?
Yeah, and our prices on natural center diamonds and created center diamonds are incredibly low right now.
Each store has a beautiful assortment of these rings?
Yes, and they're priced from just $900 up to $3,900.
Good job. Keep marching to the beat of that big bass drum, Mitzi.
I'm excited.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Six o'clock, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Tuesday, July 29th. Our top story, looking for answers after violence in downtown Milwaukee.
I'm Telly Hughes, and for Vince Vitrano, 2 U.S. mass shootings in less than 24 hours.
I'm Debbie Loziga, looking pretty good across the entire system. Maybe a quick tap of the brakes northbound on 41 right past North Avenue, but overall, everything else is looking really smooth. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
There's a chance for a shower to pop up this morning, maybe a storm later on. Otherwise, still hot and humid again today, a high of 91 inland. Tonight, slight chance for a shower, otherwise cloudy, a low of 68. Right now in Milwaukee at 6:01. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee leaders scheduling an emergency meeting at City Hall aimed to address recent violence downtown. WTMJ's Adam Roberts is live in the Breaking News Center.
Erik, the Public Health and Safety Committee set to meet in special session on Wednesday. 2 items on the agenda. They include demanding communication from Milwaukee Police and the Office of Community Wellness and Safety regarding plans to address violence and disorder in the downtown area, as well as a separate ordinance concerning food trucks. The emergency meeting following multiple shootings on Water Street this past weekend, as well as a car crash through a protective barrier that injured 2 women July 20th, and a deadly shooting earlier in the month outside Element Lounge, also on Water Street.
Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Police Department is facing low recruitment and low wages. Milwaukee Police Association President Alexander Ayala tells Wisconsin Afternoon News his officers haven't seen a pay raise in over 2 years.
The city of Milwaukee is so dangerous for police officers. We're the 5th in the country for in-line of duty death officers. So now you have low wages thrown into that compared to other jurisdictions around the area. It's just a recipe for chaos.
Milwaukee officers cannot legally go on strike, and pay negotiations with the city remain stalled.
A man wearing body armor and carrying an M4 rifle kills 4 people in a Midtown Manhattan office building. That man said to contain the headquarters, or head into a building that is the headquarters for the investment company Blackstone and the NFL. The suspect, identified as a resident out of Las Vegas, Shane Tamura, found dead from what they believe is a self-inflicted gunshot wound. ABC's Josh Margolin.
As the evening rush was taking hold and people were heading home, this individual drives up on Park Avenue, double parks the way that people do in Manhattan, gets out of the car. He has a rifle in plain view and walks with great purpose directly into a main door of this Manhattan skyscraper, and he starts firing at people.
The motive of that shooting currently under investigation.
In addition to the New York City incident on Monday, there was another deadly mass shooting in the U.S. in the last 24 hours at a casino in Reno, Nevada. ABC's Lionel Moise.
Police say a suspect opened fire on a group of people outside the Grand Sierra Resort, killing 3 and wounding several more. Officers engaging the suspect in a shootout. He was taken to a hospital in critical condition.
Police credit having a fire station across the street with helping to prevent the suspect from entering the casino.
As President Trump wraps up a trip to Scotland, his administration is issuing a memo saying federal employees are allowed to encourage co-workers to rethink their religious beliefs.
The Trump administration tells workers they can talk about religion at work, including trying to, quote, persuade others of the correctness of their own religious views. The memo cites civil rights law and the First Amendment, saying, quote, during a break, an employee may engage another in polite discussion of why his faith is correct and why the non-adherent should rethink his religious beliefs. It adds if a person asks that to stop, the employee should honor the request. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
Now, the policy isn't entirely new. In 1997, the Clinton administration issued a similar one.
Coming up, honoring the life of a baseball Hall of Famer.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:04.
A well-placed mirror can be a decorator's best friend. And what I like best about adding a decorative mirror to a room is its ability to give it a bright, open feeling. It makes the most of a room's natural light, and that can give a real boost to your room's decor. So here are a few decorative mirror ideas that we can help you with. Say you have windows with a pretty view. Well, why not double your pleasure? Placing a large frame mirror directly across from a window that gets good light will give you great views from either side. Give your small apartment more space than meets the eye with a full wall mirror placed into a partially recessed wall. All you have to do is slide a chest or banquet in front of it, and the effect is subtle but very glamorous. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My wife recently had a major accident that involved her back. I felt blessed and lucky because Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin is on our side. She's on the way to healing. They've got the best imaging and best doctors, the best systems, and the best way of taking care of you. They've got experts when it comes to things like shoulders, knees, and hips. And it's not always surgery. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin will take care of you from beginning to end. Go to their website, ohow.com, ohow.com. Request an appointment. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 16 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlands.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Richlands.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 6:06.
Your Milwaukee Brewers are in sole possession of first place. That story at 6:15.
Community members are sharing their ideas on how to improve Milwaukee Public Schools.
Monday night was the second session of new Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius' Listen and Learn Tour. Top concerns included class sizes, extracurricular activities, special education students, and grief counseling services. Dr. Caselius told the community,
I bring hard information. I know it's not popular. Live in Milwaukee, and I chose it to be my city that I'm going to live in to make a difference. I could have chose to go anywhere, and I came here.
The next listening session is Tuesday night at 6 p.m. held at South Division High School. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, the Madison Metropolitan School District has named a new director of mental health.
Dr. Tracy Scher will lead the district's comprehensive student mental health strategy, which is a big task as MMSD is the second largest school district in Wisconsin.
Fortunately, we have a number of school-based mental health professionals doing the work day in and day out.
She tells WTMJ mental health services for students have evolved with an increased focus on prevention and screening.
we get a sense of who's struggling with symptoms of depression or maybe some suicidal thinking so that we can follow up as early as possible with them to get them needed support.
Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Chicago Cubs Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg has died after a battle with prostate cancer. Here's CBS News.
Sandberg's power-hitting, grit, and hustle made him a fan favorite. Cubs fan Matt Linder was one of many who flocked to Wrigley Field last night to mourn Sandberg.
He was the Cubs to us, right? He was every kid's hero.
The second baseman was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2005.
I didn't play the game right because I saw a reward at the end of the tunnel. I played it right because that's what you're supposed to do.
Ryan Sandberg was 65. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
And the Brewers also beat the Cubs last night. We'll have more in sports at 6:15. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 6:09.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
Hey, it's your favorite car dealer, Honest Eddie. Is it true that there are no employees at Hasselus Mattress?
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, you gotta pressure people. Like, what do I have to do to get you into a new mattress today?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
6:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Hi, Debbie.
Hey there. We are looking at a pretty good ride out there. Just a couple of broken down vehicles here and there. Eastbound 94, for example, right around 26th Street off on the right shoulder. Looks like it's a tanker truck that needs a little bit of help, so they got a truck out there to help out the truck. You know what I mean. So in 43 southbound in Ozaki County, right around at Highway 60, another broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder. Everybody's getting past it without much of a problem, and light volume, no delays anywhere else. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: an early spotty shower or two, otherwise hot and humid. Highs in the mid-80s lakeside, low 90s farther inland. A pop-up shower storm possible in the heat of the afternoon. Slight chance of rain tonight, mostly cloudy with lows in the upper 60s. Showers and storms likely on Wednesday, high of 77. The sunshine back for Thursday and Friday, highs in the mid-70s, and we'll hold on to the sunny conditions on Saturday with a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
6:11.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Telly Hughes.
And a good morning to you, Erik, along with Telly. Telly in for Vince Petrano. Hey, buddy.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
We got all kinds of good stuff for you in sports in just a couple of minutes. But first, Telly, this is going to be a pay attention to this. It's going to start one place, and it could grow.
Happening today.
A special committee of the whole. Special meeting going to take place in New Berlin tonight. And what are they going to discuss? A wheel tax. So basically, a wheel tax is a fee on your vehicle, right? State charges $85 for an annual registration. So that's how you get the little sticker for your license plate, right? You send in your $85. Some counties also require a fee, like Milwaukee and Dane County among those that have a fee. Well, now more and more local municipalities across the state are also doing this. It's a great way to deal with some infrastructure costs. So you can be, okay, we'll take care of the roads for this. We'll take care of some of the infrastructure for that. And it allows cities to use their money for other things. Here's the best part, though, for why a suburb or a community would want to do it. There's no referendum. You can just do it, right? So New Berlin has a $3.7 million budget deficit. And the Waukesha Freeman says Elm Grove is also considering this, too. So today, New Berlin isn't going to actually act on the wheel tax. Not like they're going to pull the trigger on it tonight. But they're going to hear it out and consider it because this is what more and more communities are doing across the state.
Just doesn't seem fair. I mean, because the citizens don't have a vote in this, and there's nothing that you could say. You just get this bill that all of a sudden, I mean, and it's interesting that you brought this up because I recently got a renewal sticker letter, and I noticed it wasn't $85 anymore.
No,
it's way up now. It was like $115 or something, and I was just like, whoa, when did this happen? And clearly, this was a wheel tax that, unbeknownst to me, that I had no say in. And like you said, they can just do it.
So there are drawbacks. Wheel tax charges the same amount whether you have some 20-year-old beater or a brand new SUV. So doesn't matter.
That doesn't seem right either.
You could drive a lemon that's just, sore eyes on the road, but it's still going to cost the same as if you have a brand new vehicle. So that's
wow.
But you have municipalities across the state that are dealing with this. They're being squeezed. They have budget deficits. So how do you fix it? This is just a creative way of doing it. Not saying it's right or wrong, but if your hands are tied, your hands are tied. And if you're having a hard enough time, this would allow. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it would allow a community to then use that money toward other things it needs, like maybe law enforcement or the schools, if that becomes a thing where you're trying to get those school districts are trying to get a little bit more money too. So
Eric, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that it's just a thing of transparency.
You can say it's a bad
thing. No, I mean because there are things that you have to do that people aren't going to like. If it's raise parking tickets or do other things to kind of counter that deficit, but I think just where transparency comes in, where let me know where this money is going. Just don't say, oh, we got a deficit and it's going to go to some other things. Like, let's have a plan.
You want it broken down?
Yeah, just roll it out to the citizens and say, hey, this is why you're paying $40 more this year. Some of it's going to go here, some of it's going to go there. But just to get this bill and just like, all right, that's the way it is. That's how I felt.
It doesn't work for you.
No, that's not cool.
6:15. What is cool? Your Milwaukee Brewers. We explain in 1 minute.
Vince Vetrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You want windows with the strongest resilience, and Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. If you go into the showroom there, you see, feel, open, close, compare dozens of windows and door options from 7 different Pella lines side by side. Now, why do they have 7 different lines? A friendly expert can go over all of that, the endless possibilities, and, important for your budget, different price ranges. You get to choose from colors and hardware and custom designs. You're going to get the best possible look for your home. And Pella really believes that quality windows and doors don't have to be super expensive. So with a range of affordable options, products assembled right here in America, you get the look you want at a price you can afford. So you want to stop by soon, because if you order by the end of this month, you can get this deal, 0% interest on your financing for up to 5 years. Certain restrictions do apply. Visit the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield today, just off of Blue Mountain Road, or schedule your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The Brewers win a big one, 8-4 over the Cubs to take sole possession of first place in the NL Central, despite falling behind 3-0 in the first inning. Brewers manager Pat Murphy was impressed with his rookie all-star Jacob Misiorowski's resilience to battle back despite the tough start to the night. The Miz would strike out 7 over 4 innings of work.
All things considered, Jacob Misiorowski was a pitch or two away from being lifted in the first inning of an 8-4 win against the Cubs. The Miz had allowed 3 runs already in the frame, but really all to his own doing.
I think it revealed a lot. First inning, we're down 3-0. He feels horrible. His adrenaline. I mean, it's like a fighter getting knocked down in the first round.
After 40 pitches in the first, he only needed 40 pitches the rest of the game to get through 4.
He wanted to go out for the 5th. So I learned a lot about him, and the kid can pitch, not just throw.
For WTMJ, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
The Brewers also added to their catching depth by acquiring Danny Jansen from Tampa Bay. Jansen, an Appleton native will give the crew some much-needed catching insurance behind William Contreras, who has played the entire season with a fractured middle finger on his catching hand.
That's incredible.
Ouch.
By the way.
Yes, Jansen hit 204 with 11 home runs in 73 games with the Rays. Some somber news to pass along as the baseball world mourns the death of Hall of Fame Chicago Cubs second baseman Ryne Sandberg, who died Monday at the age of 65. Sandberg announced in January 2024 that he had been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer. The Cubs announced they will wear a special jersey patch to commemorate Sandberg for the rest of the season. Training camp continues in Green Bay, where the Packers strapped on the pads for the first time yesterday. They say that's when the real practicing began, when you start to hear those pads pop.
Right, here we go.
That's right, which also brings excitement and energy to camp. But Matt LaFleur had a message for his team before taking the field.
Compete to be your best and take care of each other. So we had a long just talk about and video showing the rules of engagement, things that were good from a year ago and things that weren't great. So, but bottom line is we need everybody to stay up off their feet. This is not we're not going to the ground today. So that's the expectation that I have for our guys. And I love the competitive spirit out there, but I want them to take care of each other as well.
In my humbled opinion, Eric, that's when practice really begins, when you put on the pads.
All right.
And that's a look at sports.
6:19 coming up.
The building personnel said, stay in place. There's an active shooter. Don't leave. Get away from the windows.
This is Wisconsin's Morning News.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has had business technology from James Imaging Systems for several years. Lori Salzman, Vice President of Enterprise Services, explains why.
We started with the document imaging, and I have to say that the service and support has been fantastic.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company.
I've never met an organization that is so responsive to make sure that we are up and running all the time for us to be more efficient and allow us to focus more on the work that we do for helping young people.
Lori, what's your recommendation to others that aren't getting that kind of attention from their business technology company?
Please call James Imaging, because they will work with you to make sure that you find a solution that can make you more efficient and productive.
Make the call, 262-781-7700, or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
You are the cream to fill my cream box.
I hope they like each other.
Boat race.
The sun and the moon and the earth have become one, and so have we.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting. 6:21. Good morning, Debbie Lazaga.
Good morning, Eric. Everything is looking really good right now. We're really not seeing any delays anywhere. Volume's relatively light, although it's starting to wake up. But really no incidents either, so everything is groovy. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
In weather, there's a chance of some AM showers, some pop-up PM storms, hot and humid. Another day of that, a high of 86 near the lake, 91 inland tonight. Mostly cloudy with a low of 68 tomorrow. Wednesday, the showers and storms likely, but cooler with a high of 77. And then Thursday, finally, the rain moves away, gradually clearing, sunny and cooler with a high of 74. Friday, same thing, mostly sunny with a high of 74. Saturday, mainly sunny with a high of 77.
Right now in Milwaukee, it's 76 degrees. The forecast sponsored by Big Fish Contracting. Visit bigfishcontracting.com. to see how they're renovating homes and redeeming an industry. Tune into today's Brewers pregame show this evening for the Big Fish Roof update.
It's never gets easy.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams late Monday after a deadly shooting in Midtown Manhattan.
And 3 other innocent civilians are also dead. 2 males and 1 female, and another male is seriously injured, fighting for his life in critical condition.
So here's what happened. Police say this shooting, Shane Tamura, that's the shooter, he's from Nevada, opened fire in the lobby of a downtown skyscraper that holds major headquarters.
As the evening rush was taking hold and people were heading home, this individual drives up on Park Avenue, double parks the way that people do in Manhattan, gets out of the car. He has a rifle in plain view and walks with great purpose directly into a main door of this Manhattan skyscraper, and he starts firing at
That's
people.
ABC's Josh Margolin there. Yeah, just walked right in. According to the building security camera footage, shooter entered the lobby, turned right, opened fire at an NYPD officer who was working security at the time. Shoots a woman who took cover behind a pillar, sprays the lobby, hits another person, then gets into an elevator and goes to the 33rd floor where he shoots an executive up there. This is 345 Park Avenue. So it's a commercial office building. The tenants there include KPMG, Blackstone, and the NFL. At this point, there's no idea of a motive. They don't know if the NFL has anything to do with this or any of the other headquarters. Commissioner Roger Goodell releasing a statement to his employees saying that one NFL employee was seriously injured in the attack, but is said to be in stable condition. Again, have no idea if that has anything to do with this or any of those companies. So they're trying to figure out who this guy is and why he drove from Nevada. They say that came in from Las Vegas. He was in Colorado on Saturday, Nebraska on Sunday, New Jersey on Monday. Here's New York City Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch.
According to our law enforcement partners in Las Vegas, Mr. Tamura has a documented mental health history. His motives are still under investigation, and we are working to understand why he targeted this particular location.
This guy ultimately took his own life, so they're not going to be able to talk to him about this.
Yeah.
And of course, this is happened later in the day for the work time anyway, but still a lot of people around.
We heard multiple shots go off in quick succession from the first floor, and a lot of us just rushed into the room. Some went out in the back door, out onto the street.
Listen to what this lady said, what it reminded her of.
We all ran to the windows and saw a sight that I've only seen during 9/11. The sea of police cars and ambulances and fire engines and the sounds of helicopters and sirens.
One of the women also said that, well, you know, we've been trained in this, so we kind of knew what to do, which is just so unbelievable to hear someone say that. But yeah, they knew to go into a conference room, to put a bunch of tables in front of the doors, to barricade the door. They already kind of knew that. So then once they were hiding in these building rooms.
I texted my parents that I love them. I texted people good in my life that I love them. We were honestly really, really scared.
So as of now, again, no real word on what this was all about, why this happened, but they do say he did have a gun that he was allowed to have.
Police there are telling the NYPD that Tamura had mental health issues, but did have a license for his guns. An investigation into a possible motive is underway as authorities question why the office building, which also houses the NFL headquarters and multiple financial firms, was targeted.
That's ABC's Lionel Maurice there. So in all, 5 people shot, 4 killed. One man's in critical but stable. NYPD officer who was killed is a 36-year-old father of 2 with a pregnant wife. He was off duty but working security in this building.
Yeah, one of the things that you mentioned is like these workers having to activate this training.
Right.
And it's a shame because you go through that training hoping that you would never have to exercise it, and you end up having to. And secondly, my thought on this is it just seems very specific and intentional. I mean, why, if he had never been in this building or never had any sort of contacts in this building, why would you go from the lobby to the 33rd floor?
Right.
Like, out of all floors, why the 33rd floor? So that is, I mean, like you said, Eric, we will never know the real motive behind it, but it will be interesting to see as this investigation continues, as they can possibly try and piece together some sort of motive.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Checking the numbers right now. All stock futures are up at the moment. The Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P all up 2 hours from the bell. Annex Wealth Management, financial planning at every level. AnnexWealth.com.
Paying you to live more comfortably. A deal you do not want to pass up. Vince Vetrano for USA Insulation. They will insulate your walls from the exterior. No disruption inside your home. Blow and loose fiberglass in the attic, plus air seal everything. Most homeowners feeling a difference within 24 to 48 hours. And with government rebates, you could save 40 to 60% or more. No work for you to do. USA Insulation will process everything. Visit usainsulation.net. Start saving today.
USA Insulation.
4 years ago, I opened a doggy dream space unlike anything in Wisconsin. A place that offers it all: daycare, boarding, grooming, and a one-of-a-kind indoor-outdoor dog park and tavern. A hangout as fun for humans as it is for hounds. I'm Leah, proud owner of the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. Our love, passion, and commitment to dogs and the community are at the core of everything we do. From our incredible staff to top-tier services, we've built something truly special at the Hounds and Tap. Come see for yourself. Visit the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls today.
Hey, WTMJ's John Rourke here for Certa Pro Painters. They painted the exterior of our house. I loved it because they're thorough and they're thoughtful. As a matter of fact, they pointed out some wood that might need to eventually be replaced. They just looked at the whole house, and I felt like they absolutely cared. Get on Certa Pro's calendar right now. The summer sales discount goes through July 31st. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or business. They'll do it the right way the first time. Each Certa Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. It's Certa Pro Painters.
People ask questions. Why is the sky blue? What's the meaning of life? Why can't I eat candy for breakfast?
But at Penny Mustard, most of the questions are about the penny sectional.
How can a sectional sofa look so majestic and feel so comfortable at the same time?
Can I get this in fabric or leather?
Can I eat candy for breakfast while sitting on the penny sectional? The penny sectional, starting at $62.45 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com. Better versions of what people want.
Everything's looking really good right now. We're at pretty much standard speeds across the entire system. Maybe a quick tap of the brakes on 41 right past Capitol Drive in either direction, but overall, everything looks pretty good. Just remember, we do have a broken down vehicle on 43 southbound right about at Highway 60. That's the Grafton exit. Just watch off on the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Lozgo with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Slight chance for rain this morning, otherwise a high of 91. It's going to be humid yet again today.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Stories of terrified office workers barricading themselves into conference room amid what turned out to be a mass shooting inside a New York City high-rise office building during the evening rush. Jessica Chen thought of her friends and family.
I texted my parents that I love them. I texted people good in my life that I love them. We were honestly really scared.
The gunman, identified as 27-year-old Shane Tamura from Las Vegas, shot 5 people, killing 4 of them, including an off-duty NYPD officer. ABC News has learned that Tamura had a note in his pocket claiming he suffered from CTE and made references to the NFL, which is headquartered in that building. Another mass shooting at a resort in Reno, Nevada, left 3 people dead and 3 wounded. No motive there. Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern shoring up the details of their proposed merger. If allowed by regulators to move forward, the deal would create the first transcontinental railroad. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 6:31.
Milwaukee leaders are scheduling an emergency meeting at City Hall, aiming to address recent violence downtown. The Public Health and Safety Committee going to meet in a special session on Wednesday. The agenda includes demanding communication from Milwaukee Police and the Office of Community Wellness and Safety regarding plans to address the violence that we've seen recently downtown. The meeting follows multiple shootings near Water Street, especially this past weekend. Also, a car crash through a protective barrier that injured 2 women earlier this month, and a deadly shooting outside Element Lounge also earlier this month.
Milwaukee police officers have not seen a pay raise in over 2 years. That's according to Milwaukee Police Association President Alexander Ayala. He tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News frustration is brimming over negotiations with the city.
The amount that we're asking is nothing ridiculous. It is a comparable wage, just like any other outside jurisdiction. And then you wonder why police officers in the Milwaukee Police Department are resigning because they're going other places to work.
Milwaukee is the 31st largest city in the country, but ranks 5th for most officer deaths in the line of duty.
Looking to create a task force dedicated to missing and murdered black women in Wisconsin. According to a Columbia University study, black women are 20 times more likely to be murdered in Wisconsin than white women. State Representative Sheila Stubbs.
This is my third attempt to try and get a critical piece of legislation passed into law. Today, we say no more to violence facing African American women and girls. We say no more to the lack of resources, the lack of awareness, the lack of support.
Sheena Scarborough, the mother of 19-year-old Sade Robinson, who was murdered in Milwaukee last year, is a key advocate for this bill.
A driver having a medical episode crashes into an Aldi's in Greenfield. Authorities say the car crashed into the front of the grocery store on 108th and Cold Spring Road around 11 a.m. Monday. No injuries were reported for the two people inside the vehicle or anyone inside the store.
A request from the DNR urging all all-terrain vehicle riders to buckle up.
2 more people died in Wisconsin while operating an all-terrain or utility terrain vehicle on Saturday. In Marinette County, a 55-year-old man died in an ATV rollover crash. In Clark County, a 55-year-old woman died as a passenger in a UTV collision. That brings the total number of crashes this year to 25. Out of those people, only 5 were wearing a seatbelt and 2 were wearing a helmet. The DNR reminds riders that it's the law in Wisconsin that all UTV passengers must wear a seatbelt. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 6:34.
Coming up, Ms. Maxwell appeals to the High Court.
WTMJ's Steve Scafidi here. Will rates go up or down? We'll know more on July 30th. That's when the Fed announces its next rate decision. Join Annex Wealth Management's chief economist, Dr. Brian Jacobson, for Instant Insight at 3 p.m. on July 30th. Instant Insight is when Annex goes live after important announcements like the Fed's announcement to help explain what it means for you and your money. When it comes to your financial future, a bit of expert insight could help you understand what's going on. Register now at WTMJ.com or events at AnnexWealth.com. July 30th at 3 p.m. live after the Fed announcement.
Time to stock up on deals at Fleet Farm's Truckload Super Sale, July 31st through August 3rd. Get a Blackstone 28-inch Omnivore Griddle Bundle for just $269.99. Our own 24 packs of drinking water are 4 for $10. A WorkMax linkable 30-inch LED shop light is only $6.59. And 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are just $18.99. Head to your local Fleet Farm to haul away truckload savings. And check out our weekly ad for even more deals at fleetfarm.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Get your aches and pains under control and bring back your energy. Whether it's headaches, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, time and repetition is key to staying on the right track. I've been seeing Dr. Alex and his team for 2 years now. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Connect Chiropractic uses a special tool that is targeted and effective, yet pain-free and gentle. In Delafield and Wauwatosa, and the new location on Rawson Avenue in Oak Creek. Get started at GoConnectChiro.com.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
I'm Paul Sternlieb, CEO of Enerpac Tool Group. We moved our headquarters to downtown Milwaukee earlier this year, and we love it. Downtown has such a vibrant atmosphere. Our dynamic new workplace here will help us expand our business and attract and retain world-class talent.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 6:36.
The Milwaukee Brewers sit atop the NL Central alone. Much more at 6:45. Jeffrey Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell in the news again. She is now asking the Supreme Court to consider, an appeal to overturn her sex trafficking conviction. So they made the appeal a couple of months ago. Now her lawyer is asking the Supreme Court to please consider that appeal. This, as the lawyer also appeals to President Trump directly to intervene in this case. Here's Scott McFarland from CBS.
A reply was filed with the Supreme Court as part of Maxwell's overall appeal. She wants to get her conviction overturned, but she's making a broader argument. It doesn't involve the case at all. She's making an appeal that though she was given a plea agreement in the Southern District of Florida, she was very much prosecuted and sent to prison in the Southern District of New York. And we have different districts in the same U.S. government doing different things with the same defendant, that there may need to be a Supreme Court review of that issue.
So she argues...
They might look at it.
Oops, sorry about that. She argues that she should have been covered by non-prosecution agreements that were secured part of her plea deal. That's her argument here. This has nothing to do with the conversations she had with the deputy DA last week. They're not directly tied together, but since she had those conversations, that's why the lawyer poked the high court on Monday saying, hey, you should really consider this appeal we filed.
I mean, what better chance now than a story that is not going to go away and has been the biggest story for the past couple of weeks now. And so this is a perfect opportunity for her to kind of jump on, because just think 2 weeks before 2 weeks ago, no one was talking about her at all. And now that this has become such a high profile story that is not going away, I don't blame her. You strike when the iron is hot.
That's exactly it. 6:38. So why would this ad in Vogue magazine prompt readers to cancel their subscriptions? That story next.
You see a problem, Landworks Wisconsin sees potential. Vince Vitrano here. You know that spot in your yard you just kind of look past? Overgrown shrubs, flower bed that's seen better days? Landworks design team can renovate those tired spaces, creating something beautiful you'll be proud of. At night, Landworks permanent holiday and accent lighting will make your home stunning year-round. Zero hassle. Seriously, you control the lights from an app on your phone. Time to enjoy your entire property. Let Landworks help you make the most of your outdoor space. LandworksWisconsin.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Bumblebee Blinds Milwaukee can refresh your home with high-quality blinds, professional guidance, and easy installation. Book a free consultation today. Bumblebee Blinds, window treatments to buzz about.
641 traffic brought to you by Bumblebee Blinds. Debbie, you can visit them at bumblebeeblinds.com.
Cool. All right. Southbound 41, backing up now from Appleton Avenue down towards Capitol Drive. Northbound's got a little bit of a tap of the brakes right around the North Avenue curve, but otherwise, everything else is rolling along pretty well. It's pretty quiet out there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a few spotty showers early this morning, otherwise hot and humid with highs in the mid-80s at the lakefront, low 90s farther inland. A pop-up shower storm is possible in the heat of the afternoon. A slight chance of rain overnight, mostly cloudy with a low of 68. Showers and storms likely on Wednesday with a high of 77. The sunshine is back on Thursday and Friday, cooler with highs in the mid-70s, and we'll hold on to the sun for Saturday with a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
76 degrees at 642. Interesting article in the BBC that is also everywhere else at the moment. Sparking outrage, Vogue magazine. And it's not even Vogue magazine. It's really Guess. It's a Guess advertisement that happens to be in Vogue magazine. There's a new supermodel in town. She's striking, stylish, and she's not real, Telly. In the August print edition of Vogue, a Guess advertisement features a flawless blonde model showing off a striped maxi dress and a floral playsuit from the brand's summer collection. In small print in one corner, the ad reveals that she was created using AI. She's not a real person. While Vogue says the AI model was not an editorial decision, it is the first time an AI-generated person is featured in the magazine. The advertisement has been met with controversy and raises questions about what this means for real models who have fought for greater diversity and for consumers, particularly young people, already struggling with unrealistic beauty standards. What's funny about this is that if you look at the picture, she is exactly what you would expect a model to look like, or maybe a model of the 90s. We've seen this exact same picture before. Like, we've seen this woman a million times. And I'm not suggesting by any means that this woman is a real person. And you got it on this live stream. Oh, excellent. If you text the word watch, WATCH, you can see her. Or it. Is it an it? WATCH. Text that to the Side Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. So there is a company that's behind it. They say, yeah, we were approached by Guess to create this AI woman. We gave them 10 different options, and this is the one they went with.
Apparently, filters aren't good enough anymore. We just need to create a whole new person that is supposed to be this portrait of perfection. Don't you remember when it was a problem when they used to like airbrush little blemishes off? And people
yes,
like,
right.
that was a big deal. Now there's a whole new person that you're creating.
The thing is that if you look at it, and again, I'm not defending this, but Debbie, wouldn't you agree that if you look at that picture, isn't that already what we've seen we've seen real women look like that. Not suggesting that real women look like that, but we've seen that picture before of an actual lady looking ridiculously not real. Right, Deb? Or are you working over there? Oh,
Oops, sorry. I'm talking and I have the mic on. Duh. Okay. Yeah, true. I mean, but I guess the point is, that even if they didn't do it through AI, none of what you see in a magazine is real anyway. I mean, everything's been so touched up and, edited that, it's like you probably walk past this person on the street and not even recognize her.
Right. And
because of all the editing.
In this case, you would never see her because she's just a figment of our imagination.
That you think of. Yeah. She might be out there. Well, just coincidentally.
Yeah, so there's two things that you know with AI. Don't trust when they make up a model, and don't take their advice when you try to go get a raise from your boss.
Yes, both things can be true.
Both things can be true.
Text watch. We'll keep it up there for a couple extra seconds if you really want to see this AI model, 855-616-1620. We got sports in a minute, and it's going to be a good one.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
While our former manager thought things would be different down south, did he ever consider that the ivy may not be greener on the other side?
So glad he left. Addition by subtraction.
It's the Brewers and the Cubs in Milwaukee.
And they're coming back to Milwaukee with the best record in baseball in their back pocket.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05. This series is sponsored by IKEA in Oak Creek. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ. Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The Brewers win a big one, 8-4 over the Cubs to take sole possession of first place in the NL Central despite falling behind 3-0 in the first inning. Brewers manager Pat Murphy was impressed with his rookie all-star Jacob Misiorowski's resilience to battle back despite the tough start to the night. The Miz would strike out 7 in over 4 innings of work.
All things considered, Jacob Misiorowski was a pitch or two away from being lifted in the first inning of an 8-4 win against the Cubs. The Miz had allowed 3 runs already in the frame, but really all to his own doing.
I think it revealed a lot. First inning, we're down 3-0. He feels horrible. His adrenaline. I mean, it's like a fighter getting knocked down in the first round.
After 40 pitches in the first, he only needed 40 pitches the rest of the game to get through 4.
He wanted to go out for the 5th. So I learned a lot about him, and the kid can pitch, not just throw.
For WTMJ, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
Major League Baseball's trade deadline is Thursday, but the Brewers got active early on Monday night, adding to their catching depth by acquiring Danny Jansen from Tampa Bay. Jansen, an Appleton native, will give the crew some much-needed catching insurance behind William Contreras.
Can we assume that he'll probably have 15 RBIs by the end of the month, just like Andrew Vaughn? Like Andrew Vaughn went yard again yesterday, so every trade seems to work for this team.
The Brewers really haven't missed on many trades, and this is a hometown kid basically coming to town and coming back home for the first time, and again, he will back up William Contreras, who has played the entire season with a fractured middle finger on his catching hand.
Crazy.
I mean, you talk about toughness there, but Jansen will give the Brewers some much-needed insurance in the catching department. He hit .204 with 11 home runs in 73 games with the Rays. Some somber news to pass along as the baseball world mourns the death of Hall of Fame Chicago Cubs second baseman Ryne Sandberg, who died Monday at the age of 65. Sandberg announced in January 2024 that he had been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer. The Cubs announced they will wear a special jersey patch to commemorate Sandberg for the rest of the season. Training camp continues in Green Bay, where the Packers strapped on the pads for the first time on Monday. They say that's when the real stuff begins, which brings excitement and energy to the camp. But Matt LaFleur had a message for his team before taking the field.
Compete to be your best and take care of each other. So we had a long talk about in video showing the rules of engagement, things that were good from a year ago and things that weren't great. So, but bottom line is we need everybody to stay up off their feet. This is we're not going to the ground today. So that's the expectation that I have for our guys. And I love the competitive spirit out there, but I want them to take care of each other as well.
The real intensity begins at Packers camp, and that is a look at sports.
6:50.
I am so glad that Aaron Savali demanded that trade. Swing and a miss from Dansby Swanson.
Hey, if you love true, authentic Mexican food, I highly recommend you stop at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford today. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Chef is the most affordable, family-friendly dining restaurant, and the Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet is just $9.99. Whoa, that's incredible. Desserts are buy one, get one free. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Today from the kids' menu, they'll love that huge game room quietly set aside from the dining area wherever you live. It's worth the drive to the Mine Chef today for the all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet, just $9.99. Excelente. Wednesday, the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is $7.99. That's a crazy low price. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford, just off Highway 41 near the EAA in Oshkosh. 2 locations, both fantastic. No need to cook today. Just walk in, relax, and enjoy the all-you-can-eat Tuesday Mexican buffet for under $10. Check it out, minechefrestaurant.com.
Here's to experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Every deliciously cheesy, rockin', magical, fireworks-filled, festival-loving moment. There's Cheese Curd Fest in Ellsworth, Strawberry Fest in Cedarburg, Festival of the Arts in Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol, Honor the Earth Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, Venetian Fest, Brat Fest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at travelwisconsin.com. There's nothing out there close to this.
Crew Tuesdays are back on July 29th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in July 29th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check out your local listings to watch the game.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Debbie Lasga's got your roads. Hi, Debbie.
Hey there. Southbound on 41, backing up from just before Appleton Avenue all the way down to about Hampton. Northbound just a little bit tight right around the North Avenue curve. Westbound 94 filling in a bit from just about 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. A little bit more of a delay heading through the county line area towards Elm Grove Road. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
In weather, there's a chance for some showers this morning and pop-up opportunities for some showers late in the afternoon. Hot and humid with a high of 86 tonight. Mostly cloudy with a low of 68.
Your forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating. Another hot one today. It's not the heat, it's the humidity, right? That's what we always hear. Oh, another rough one. It doesn't even matter what time it is. You're still sweating whenever you're outside. Joining us from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is Lori Nickel, who, Lori, have you been able to do anything outside this year?
Oh, my gosh. It's with a lot of complaining, yes. So I'm like, what happened? I used to love summer. But, yeah, I was wondering what you guys thought, too, between your golfing and running and everything, because I'm dying out there, and I'm basically carrying, a small medical emergency kit with me on my bike pack. So, what's happening?
So my kids, all three of them are runners, and they've been running early, like at 6 or whatever. And even then, they've been saying... It's brutal,
it's enough.
just coming back, just sweating bullets the whole time.
Yeah, and the thing is, I like to go cycling. I like to hike, kayak, but for cycling to get the benefit, I want to go 2 or 3 hours at least, and I'm doing the noon tablets. Or the liquid IV. That's the powder or the tablet that you put in your drinks. I'm even got a cooling wrap around my neck and stuff, and I just can't. I hydrate beforehand, and afterwards I'm just still wrecked. With all the stuff that I normally do, it still hasn't been enough because it's just been so intensely hot. And I was thinking about that, how are the Packers dealing with this? Are the Brewers dealing with this? They're out on the field for a long period of time. It's freaking hot out there.
Yeah, Lori, I grew up in the St. Louis area, and let me tell you, in August, the humidity, and I played baseball growing up, and now being an avid golfer, I tell you, when it's this hot and humid, I'm not a fan of being out there, and I will mostly make 6 a.m. tee times, but I did play yesterday, and the only reason why I was able to play was because I was participating in the MacFun outing, and it's such a great cause. But if it wasn't a MacFun outing, I was not golfing yesterday, let me tell you.
Right?
But it is.
Well, I wonder, that's crazy. But there's supposed to be benefits, right, to heat training? That's what athletes tell me all the time, the harder they make, because it is a stress. It's a stress. Your heart rate goes up. It's a stress on your immune system, and you're supposed to get acclimated to it. And I'm like, well, it's the end of July, and I'm not acclimated to anything.
Well, I'm always fascinated, and we've talked about this with Jason Wilde and others who cover the Packers, and I think I've even thrown this question at you before, Lori. I don't know how... In Green Bay, what's the point of even having them outside? Are you actually retaining the information you need to be retained at that moment? I mean, if you're being coached to do these things, if you're spending all that energy trying to stay comfortable and cool, how are you even learning anything?
I think there's a difference between an elite 24-year-old athlete and maybe the rest of us.
And us.
Watching. Just a guess. But, those guys do a lot, though, too, and they have been having practice earlier in the morning, which is smart. But, yes, I think there's a toughness factor. I do think there's a mental factor to it as well, but I do think a lot of guys are looking forward to the benefits. Like your kids, Erik, might have PRs this fall because they are training in this tough. As long as you're smart and don't get sick from heat stroke or heat exhaustion, you could actually get some really good benefits from this.
I don't know if I want
so
them hearing you say that, Lori. I don't need my kids. Oh, well, Lori said I'm going to get a PR. I'm going to run faster.
Well, there is a science to it, though. The blood cell production can be different. It's like altitude training. So instead of all of us having to go to Colorado right now to train, we're getting it from the heat. The thing that it's just not fun. I used to enjoy doing all this stuff, and now it's just like I'm enduring all this stuff, and I never dreamed of snow so much in my life in July.
Now, hold on.
We don't need the snow. We just need to get to Thursday where it's a high of 77.
Yes, things cool down starting tomorrow. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's Lori Nickel. Thank you, Lori.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
It feels like an armpit out here.
It does. It does feel like an armpit. Business headline sponsored by Horicon Bank. Together doing good. HoriconBank.com, the natural choice.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A.O. Smith Corporation predicts tariffs will incur a 15 to 20% hike in its costs for steel in the second half of the year. In anticipation of higher tariffs, A.O. Smith increased prices of its water heater products in North America by 6 to 9% in May. Developer Michael Amem is planning 89 for-sale condos along Lake Michigan. The condos, which will take advantage of an already built foundation at 4100 South Lake Drive, would be the first built along the area's Lake Michigan shoreline in nearly 20 years. Eaton Corporation contracts with We Energies on a clean energy project to drive carbon reduction at its Wisconsin operations. The 4-megawatt solar project is expected to go live in early 2026. I'm Logan Hansen for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Doing banking differently since 1896. Greg Matzik here for Horicon Bank. Think about that for a second. Over 100 years of focus on the community and your business. At Horicon Bank, financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks, because your banker understands you and your business. And yes, Horicon Bank is expanding, but they've not lost that community-minded feel. I trust Horicon Bank. I've connected with Horicon Bank, and I invite you to do the same. It's Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice, member FDIC.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Guthrie & Fry. I love Guthrie & Fry. I've got their water softener, the salt delivered right to the basement. Their RO system, which filters the water in our house. What we drink, what we cook with is crisp, clean, clear. It's Guthrie & Fry water conditionings, the best in the business. They also provide well pump system service, routine service, and emergency service. For when you need it, they've been doing that since 1974. At Guthrie & Fry, they know that better water makes a big difference. The teams I trust are at Guthrie & Fry Water Conditioning.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
Built Right. One location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Armstrong can run. 12 stolen bases on the year. There he goes.
In this race for first place, there's no room for error.
Throw to second is right on the back. They got him. Oh, wow. William Contreras cuts down Pete Crow Armstrong.
It's the Brewers and the Cubs in an NL Central standoff. This series is sponsored by IKEA Oak Creek. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05 on the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Tuesday, July 29th. Our top story, searching for answers amid growing violence in downtown.
I'm Telly Hughes. A manhunt underway in Arkansas.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Southbound on 41. That's a slowdown from Good Hope Road all the way to Capitol Drive. Northbound, just a quick tap of the brakes right around North Avenue. Westbound 94, a little slow right through the Stadium interchange to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound still looking really good all the way in from the county line to the Marquette. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Going to be hot again today, then it will start to cool down a bit, at least less humidity after today. Hot and humid, high of 91, chance for a pop-up shower. Tonight, same thing, chance for some rain, otherwise cloudy, a low of 68. Right now, 75 at 7:02. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee leaders scheduling an emergency meeting now at City Hall, aiming to address recent violence downtown.
The Public Health and Safety Committee will meet in special session Wednesday, demanding action from Milwaukee Police and the Office of Community Wellness and Safety on a recent uptick in violence downtown. The emergency meeting follows multiple shootings on Water Street this past weekend, as well as a car crashing through a protective barrier injuring 2 recent college grads July 20th, and a deadly shooting outside Element Lounge, also on Water Street, earlier this month. At Water and Kilbourne in Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Police Department is facing low recruitment and low wages. Milwaukee Police Association President Alexander Ayala tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News his officers haven't seen a pay raise in over 2 years.
The city of Milwaukee is so dangerous for police officers. We're the 5th in the country for in-line of duty death officers. So now you have low wages thrown into that compared to other jurisdictions around the area. It's just a recipe for chaos.
Milwaukee officers cannot legally go on strike, and pay negotiations with the city remain stalled.
A man opens fire in a busy New York City office building, killing 4, one of them an off-duty police officer. CBS reporter Adi Guadaro.
Community members, police officers, and local leaders came together to pay respect to fallen officer Diderol Islam. Many lined the streets and held their hand to their hearts as the dignified transfer took place for the fallen officer. He was taken away in an ambulance. According to police, Islam was working for a private company as a paid off-duty security in uniform and was in the lobby of 345 Park Avenue when the gunmen opened fire.
The shooter's been identified as Shane Tamura of Las Vegas. He drove all the way into New York City. He turned the gun on himself after the shooting.
In the widening search for a double murderer on an Arkansas hiking trail, police are distributing a sketch of the suspect in that state and neighboring Oklahoma.
The first police dispatch after the couple's bodies were found on a northwest Arkansas hiking trail described the suspect's getaway.
Took off in a small black sports car with tape over the plate.
To criminologist Angelo Brown at Arkansas State University,
covering their license plate with some tape, that huge sign that this was premeditated.
The 7- and 9-year-old daughters of Clinton and Kristen Brink were not harmed by the man who murdered their parents. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Coming up, a procession for the Prince. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. Will rates go up or down? Well, we'll know more on July 30th. That's when the Fed announces its next rate decision. If you're wondering how the Fed's announcement will impact your decisions, whether we're talking about buying a new home, to planning your investments, join Annex Wealth Management's chief economist, Dr. Brian Jacobson, for Instant Insight, 3 p.m. July 30th. Instant Insight is when Annex goes live right after important announcements, like the Fed's announcement coming up, with their reaction and explain what it means for you and for your money. When it comes to your financial future, a bit of expert insight can help you understand what's going on. Visit WTMJ.com or events@annexwealth.com and register now for Instant Insight, the Fed and the markets, June 30th, 3 p.m., live, right after the Fed makes its announcement. Register now. Visit WTMJ.com or events@annexwealth.com. Instant Insight, the Fed and the markets, July 30th, 3 p.m., live.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Looking for an e-bike? Shop Wheel and Sprocket and find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride.
Visit WheelAndSprocket.com for a location near you.
Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 7:07.
And now the Brewers are in first by themselves. That story at 7:15.
The Wisconsin Department of Health Services confirms the first case of West Nile virus in the state in 2025. The human case was reported in Barron County, but mosquitoes from Milwaukee and Lafayette counties have also tested positive for the virus. West Nile virus spreads through infected mosquitoes, and most people don't have any symptoms after infection. Older adults and people who have compromised immune systems are at greater risk of developing severe illness that can be fatal.
Some 200 military mothers from across the country are gathering in Milwaukee for a week of sisterhood, service, and support.
Sacrifice doesn't just come from the battlefield. This week, military moms are gathering in Milwaukee to share how service has helped shape their lives, too. Teresa Sumner's traveled to the convention and says it's been an emotional yet inspiring experience.
You may not come from a military background, and you don't know what to expect, and that's where we can be your support. That will help you get through that deployment that you may not be able to call, but you will have your Blue Star sister who's going to have your back.
Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Funeral plans have just been announced for the Prince of Darkness.
The city council in Ozzy Osbourne's hometown of Birmingham, England, says fans will be able to pay respects tomorrow when a hearse carrying Ozzy's remains drives through the streets accompanied by a brass band. The procession will culminate at the Black Sabbath Bench, a tourist attraction dedicated to the band. Birmingham's Lord Mayor says it'll be a fitting and dignified tribute ahead of a private funeral. He says the Osbourne family is covering all costs for the procession. Ozzy died last week at the age of 76. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 7:09.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Paying you to live more comfortably. A deal you do not want to pass up. Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. They will insulate your walls from the exterior. No disruption inside your home. Blow and loose fiberglass in the attic, plus air seal everything. Most homeowners feeling a difference within 24 to 48 hours. And with government rebates, you could save 40 to 60% or more. No work for you to do. USA Insulation will process everything. Visit usainsulation.net. Start saving today.
USA Insulation.
7:10. How are we looking there, Debbie Lazaga?
Well, we have an incident. At least that's what they're calling it from the DOT. Southbound on 41, just south of Appleton Avenue. It's like a squad and another vehicle off on the right behind the barrels. So you should be able to get through it without too much of a problem, but it is a bit of a distraction. And if you're wondering what it is, it's an incident. All right. Beyond that, we've got northbound 41 backing up right around the North Avenue curve. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, a spotty shower or two this morning. Otherwise hot and humid today with temperatures in the mid-80s lakeside, low 90s farther inland. We'll be on the lookout for a pop-up shower storm in the heat of the afternoon. It's mostly cloudy tonight. Slight chance of rain with lows in the upper 60s. Showers Showers and storms likely for Wednesday with a high of 77. Sunshine back for Thursday and Friday with highs in the mid-70s, and we hold on to the sun into Saturday with a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
75 degrees at 7-Eleven.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Telly Hughes.
Erik along with Telly. Telly's in for Vince Vitrano. Hey, buddy.
Hey, good morning.
Out this morning. Brand new list, well, kinda, but it is new, I guess. Fortune's list of the world's largest corporations ranked by revenue for 2024's fiscal year. So, for the 12th consecutive year, Walmart is your number one ranking.
Walmart is number one for the 12th straight year. But in the last couple of years, Amazon has been closing in on them to take over the number one spot. And I think we might see that happen. Most likely, I think it might be next year based on how the revenue is growing.
Ooh, Scott DiCarlo there with Fortune says that Amazon could be the number one starting next year. So, I mean, either way, you're making plenty of money. It's fine.
But that's kind of interesting to me because I would have thought that Amazon would already be number one. And because you hear about Walmarts closing in different areas, and there's been several Walmarts that have closed over the last year and a half in the Milwaukee area. And so you would think that a company that's downsizing wouldn't still be the most profitable company in the world. But
could be only a matter of time. Yeah. 2024, meanwhile, was the second most profitable year ever for the Fortune Global 500. So here is who's on the list from Wisconsin. Anyone who pays attention to this, these are your typical names, but Northwestern Mutual is on there, Fiserv, Manpower, Kohl's, Oshkosh Corp, WEC, which is the parent company of We Energies, and Rockwell are the Wisconsin companies on the list of Fortune 500 that just came out this morning.
Yeah, the usual suspects.
The usual suspects. Lots to get to in sports, and you're not going to be disappointed. That's in 1 minute.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the number one movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richland's Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Mitchke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richland's Tire and Service Centers.
Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. We install anything decks and more. Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The Brewers win a big one, 8-4 over the Cubs to take sole possession of first place in the NL Central despite falling behind 3-0 in the first inning. Brewers manager Pat Murphy was impressed with his rookie all-star Jacob Mezorowski's resilience to battle back despite the tough start to the night. The Miz would strike out 7 over 4 innings of work.
All things considered, Jacob Mezorowski was a pitch or two away from being lifted in the first inning of an 8-4 win against the Cubs. The Miz had allowed 3 runs already in the frame, but really all due his own doing.
I think it revealed a lot. First inning, we're down 3-0. He feels horrible. His adrenaline. I mean, it's like a fighter getting knocked down in the first round.
After 40 pitches in the first, he only needed 40 pitches the rest of the game to get through 4.
He wanted to go out for the 5th, so I learned a lot about him, and the kid can pitch, not just throw.
For WTMJ, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
Major League Baseball trade deadline is officially on Thursday, but the Brewers were active on Monday night, acquiring Danny Jansen from Tampa Bay, who is a catcher. Jansen is also an Appleton native, will give the crew some much-needed catching insurance behind William Contreras, who has played the entire season with a fractured middle finger on his catching hand. Jansen hit .204 with 11 home runs in 73 games with the Rays. Some somber news to pass along as the baseball world mourns the death of Hall of Fame Chicago Cubs second baseman Ryne Sandberg, who died Monday at the age of 65. Sandberg announced in January 2024 that he had been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer. The Cubs announced they will wear a special jersey patch to commemorate Sandberg for the rest of the season. Training camp continues in Green Bay, where the Packers strapped on the pads for the first time on Monday. They say that's when the real practicing begins, which brings excitement and energy and intensity to camp. But Matt LaFleur had a message for his team before taking the field.
Compete to be your best and take care of each other. So we had a long talk about in video showing the rules of engagement, things that were good from a year ago and things that weren't great. But bottom line is we need everybody to stay up off their feet. This is we're not going to the ground today. So that's the expectation that I have for our guys. And I love the competitive spirit out there, but I want them to take care of each other as well.
Rules of engagement. That's interesting. Like, all right, so you're not trying to hurt somebody, Hobbs, but essentially that's basically they want to figure out, make sure guys aren't doing anything too crazy.
But that's a very thin line to walk, Eric, because when you're on the football field, you're intense. You are working hard, and all of a sudden, I mean, yes, that's your teammate, but you just got to ease up a little bit. So it's a fine line, and that's why you see a lot of teams have a lot of skirmishes in training camp because they get agitated and they get sick of hitting each other. But I thought that was a really good message to say, hey, we want to go hard, but remember, this is your teammate.
Do not hurt him, please. 7:19.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 16 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Here's a question for you. When was the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee screaming at you or that back just groaning? Or you walked down a flight of stairs without feeling it step by step? So basically, when's the last time you felt really good, right? Well, now's the time to call QC Kinetics. Get yourself a free consultation and learn what thousands of other patients in Southeast Wisconsin will tell you. They wish they would have called sooner. Turned around their lives with QC Kinetics and its regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies. That means no knives, not a bunch of pills, not long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. It can get you that long-term fix that you need, and you don't have to take all this other stuff with it. QC Kinetics. Call today. 414-285-3474. Bring your x-rays. Bring your MRIs. You've had the work done before. Show them what you got, and they can work with you. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini here to talk about my brand new show, WTMJ Outdoors. We love the outdoors in the great state of Wisconsin and beyond. We're going to talk with outdoors experts, bicycling, resort owners, rock climbers, hunting and fishing, camping, all things Wisconsin outdoors. Join us every Saturday, 2 to 3, right here on 620 WTMJ.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
7:21. Well, good morning to you, Debbie Love.
Good morning, Eric. Southbound on 41, we've got a little bit of a backup from Good Hope Road all the way down past Appleton Avenue. Once you get past Silver Spring, you should be good to go all the way down to the zoo. Northbound's a little bit backed up right around the North Avenue curve. Southbound 43 now starting to get a bit heavier. We're seeing a few taps of the brakes right past Silver Spring. Eastbound 94, a little slow from 68th Street to Hawley Road. There's a little tiny pocket right there. Westbound is looking good out of the Marquette, pretty much all the way to the county line. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
One more day. Well, at least for now, it would appear one more day. Talking about the forecast and the humidity that we've been dealing with. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Nizansky joins us. Right, Niz, is this the last of it, at least for now?
Yeah, at least for now. I mean, we got to get through August, September. Humidity
Right.
will come back. Yeah, humidity will come back. But, yeah, at least for now. And it's been quite a stretch here of high humidity. It backed off from the initial days last week. But, yeah, it's been at least a week of really high humidity for us here in southeastern Wisconsin.
And it's just a thing that could happen, huh? This is just one of those aspects of summer in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it is. I think it's one of those things like, you know, in our heads, we think maybe this is out of the ordinary or something, but it's pretty typical for us middle of summer to get stretches of high humidity. This one might have been a little bit on the extreme side. Things timed out perfectly with a pretty good wave of heat to go and humid air to go along with peak corn sweat season. So things lined up pretty good for this stretch here, but it's pretty typical for us here in southeastern Wisconsin.
Yeah, it just feels atypical because we're not used to having as many days in a row where it's this humid. But when does a front kind of combat this where it's a cooler front? I just can't remember a time where it was this humid this early in the morning when you wake up and then in our case we're waking up at 4 in the morning. But
Telly's complaining about his humidity during his 6 a.m. time.
Yeah, well that part too in an indirect way, but
but I mean it's true though. I mean you wake up and you feel that humid air. And yesterday I was out Grand Geneva for the Wisconsin Hall of Fame golf outing, which is fantastic. But you're right, like in the morning, it was just already like soupy, sweaty, and it really isn't terribly warm outside. You could just feel that thickness. So we do get a cold front to pass through tonight. And out ahead of that front, we could see some thunderstorms bubbling up. I don't think it's like as a widespread, everybody's going to get it. I do think there's still going to be some scattered nature to this stuff, but things start to increase later on this afternoon and evening.
Niz, when you're out on the boat on Lake Michigan, is it just as bad out there, or does that kind of suck in some of the humidity?
Yeah, it does a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's just more comfortable out there. You get more of a breeze. Even though like maybe on the land it's pretty stagnant, there tends to be breezes that form out over the open water, so that helps if you're out on Lake Michigan. And typically it's a few degrees cooler, and typically that also reduces the dew points. There are many times where I'll look at like a certain site like that's on land that sticks out in the water, like let's say Port Washington or Racine, that just tends to stick out a little bit more. And a lot of times that sensor, the dew point could be a little bit lower as well. So you do get a good little comfort zone. It's so funny, I brought up Port Washington last week. I posted a picture online of temperatures, and Port Washington was the place to be. It was 85 and beautiful, while everybody else was 95 and super humid. And someone remembered, like in the spring, I constantly bash Port Washington for being 45 when it's 70, everywhere else. So this is the time to shine. If you are one of those spots that are typically colder right along the lake, it gives you good relief.
So, Niz, the rest of the week, well, not the rest of the week, but after Thursday, it seems like we're going to get back to typical Wisconsin summer evenings, correct?
Yeah, maybe even a little bit cooler than average. I mean, the average high is 82 right now, so by the end of the week, we could have highs in the 70s in some spots, and that'll be fantastic for State Fair. I mean, 78 and sunny still feels quite warm when you're walking around the pavement of State Fair, so it's and going in and out of those barns. So right now things are looking pretty good, and yeah, it'll be nice to get back to some comfort zone here.
Is that a tradition for you? Take the girls there?
We do. Yeah, I would say even more so than Summerfest, and I know Summerfest is fantastic too. I enjoy Summerfest for more of adulting, like in a way. Like, yeah. But State Fair tends to have, you got some stuff for the kids, and we do some things that are must do's every time. We got to go up in the big Ferris wheel, and you got to do the beanbag slide. And they really enjoy it.
So we used to take our kids when they were tiny to State Fair every year, at least once, and it would always do the 8 a.m. right when it opened back then. And we would never take them to Spin City. We would just skip Spin City altogether until one of my sons noticed one time when we were leaving. He's like, "Hey, what's with that giant Ferris wheel there?" I'm like, "Don't worry about that. That's not State Fair.
Nothing
That's
to see here."
Yeah, you can drop a hundo real quick in Spin City. That don't last very long. The kids, you almost have to tell your kid to pace themselves, and it's like they get a hold of that card that holds the keys to every one of those rides, and they just want to go. And some part of you wants them to do that, and other part of you is going, okay, let's bleed this out a little bit. Let's slow this up a little bit. It's fun. State Fair is one of those. Yeah, it's such a great event that all parts of the state come together. Everybody comes down. You got your farmers who are cherishing and taking care of their prize cattle. You have, guys from the city or, all parts of the state coming together, and it's a lot of fun.
It starts Thursday, and it looks great. 74 Thursday, 74 Friday, 77 on Saturday. Thanks, buddy.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky on Wisconsin's Morning News. News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. All three indices an hour before the bell. The futures are up at the moment. Stock futures up 1 hour before things start to ring on Wall Street. AnnexWealth.com. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at AnnexWealth.com.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. And there's just such beauty in it, If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road, or visit PellaWI.com today.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. New York City Mayor Eric Adams saying minutes ago the suspected gunman in the Midtown Manhattan office building shooting had a note on him that alluded that he felt he had CTE, a known brain injury that is possible for those who participate in contact sports. He played high school football and apparently blamed the NFL for it. The NFL is headquartered in that building, It's believed the gunman was looking for the NFL's offices but went to the wrong bank of elevators and ended up inside a different office suite. 4 people were killed in the shooting, 1 wounded, and the gunman took his own life afterwards. Dangerous weather in store for many of us again today.
More than 165 million Americans face life-threatening heat with temperatures that feel hotter than 100 degrees. New York City activating its heat emergency plan, providing access to cooling centers and conducting outreach to at-risk communities.
ABC's Victor Okendo. The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry says over 60,000 Palestinians have now been killed in the war. This is ABC News.
Well, things are moving along slowly on southbound 41 from just before Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol. Northbound slowing down right around the North Avenue curve and then just north of Capitol Drive. We got westbound 94 looking not too horrible. A little quick tap the brakes heading into the Stadium interchange and then west of Highway 100 to about Elm Grove Road. Eastbound's a bit slow from 84th Street to Hawley Road, and southbound 43 backing up from Good Hope Road pretty much all the way past Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Chance for a shower popping up later on today. Hot and humid again today. The last real day of the humidity, for now anyway, a high of 91. Tonight, still a chance for rain, cloudy, a low of 68. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center. In Milwaukee, leaders scheduling an emergency meeting at City Hall aiming to address recent violence downturns. The Public Health and Safety Committee is going to meet in special session this week. The agenda will include demanding communication from Milwaukee Police and the Office of Community Wellness regarding plans to address violence downtown. The meeting follows multiple shootings on Water Street this past weekend, a car crash through a protective barrier injuring 2 women on July 20th, and a deadly shooting outside Element Lounge earlier in the month.
Milwaukee police officers have not seen a pay raise in over 2 years. That's according to Milwaukee Police Association President Alexander Ayala. He tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News frustration is brimming over negotiations with the city.
The amount that we're asking is nothing ridiculous. It is a comparable wage, just like any other outside jurisdiction. And then you wonder why police officers in the Milwaukee Police Department are resigning because they're going other places to work.
Milwaukee is the 31st largest city in the country, but ranks 5th for most officer deaths in the line of duty.
The push is on to take action for missing and murdered women of color in Wisconsin. State Representative Sheila Stubbs is working to reintroduce a bill to create the Missing and Murdered African American Women and Girls Task Force. Now, among those speaking to lawmakers Monday included Sheena Scarborough, the mother of Sade Robinson, the 19-year-old who was murdered and dismembered in Milwaukee last year.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. The task force are definitely needed. I'm going to demand that my baby, her legacy and her light be carried out.
Still a long way to go for this bill, though, which now waits for a committee hearing in each chamber.
Several streets flood in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood after scheduled valve maintenance. The Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District says the water was released from a large water main Monday afternoon near Humboldt and Concordia. Officials say the leak was not the result of a water main break, and the impacts to water quality are not expected.
The DNR is urging all riders of all-terrain vehicles to buckle up.
2 more people died in Wisconsin while operating an all-terrain or utility terrain vehicle on Saturday. In Marinette County, a 55-year-old man died in an ATV rollover crash. In Clark County, a 55-year-old woman died as a passenger in a UTV collision. That brings the total number of crashes this year to 25. Out of those people, only 5 were wearing a seatbelt and 2 were wearing a helmet. The DNR reminds riders that it's the law in Wisconsin that all UTV passengers must wear a seatbelt. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 7:35.
News is brought to you by J&J Contractors. Here's the website. Visit jjcontractorsllc.com.
Imagine waking up to the updated kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. J&J Contractors is your preferred partner in all your home renovation needs. They can transform your kitchen with beautiful new floors, custom cabinetry, and more. Dreaming of a spa-like oasis with custom tile work and fixtures? J&J Contractors will design a bathroom that leaves you feeling relaxed and rejuvenated. For your free consultation, just search online, J&J Contractors, or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
Traffic is sponsored by Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics. Go to rejuvenix.com for an appointment.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
While our former manager thought things would be different down south, did he ever consider that the ivy may not be greener on the other side?
So glad he left. Addition by subtraction.
It's the Brewers and the Cubs in Milwaukee.
And they're coming back to Milwaukee with the best record in baseball in their back pocket.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05. This series is sponsored by IKEA in Oak Creek. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. They're the best in the business. They are CertaPro painters. Now's the time to get on their schedule. Their summer sales discount goes through the end of July. Do it now. They painted our house, the outside, absolutely fantastic. They're kind, they're thoughtful. They moved our patio furniture out of the way and moved it right back where it belonged. It is CertaPro painters. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. For your home or business, they're the best. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
The open road is calling, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This July, you could burn rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire up your fantasy, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 7:37.
Your first place, Milwaukee Brewers. That story at 7:45. Okay, Telly.
Yes.
If you're like most Americans, you spend quite a bit of time online. How many hours a day do you think the typical American grown-up spends cruising the web? This would include work, school, streaming, anything online.
Anything online, and especially social media.
Sure.
I would say the average American adult spends 6.5 hours a day online.
The typical American grown-up spends 10 hours a day cruising the web. But don't forget, that also includes work. So, depending on what you do, you could be online for something. Most, though, are watching shows or creeping social media.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
I mean, you just think about the fact that we lived in a time before cell phones and pre-internet.
It was so boring.
Like people are like, kids now are like, oh my gosh, that had to be the worst. But it forced you to do other things and be more active and engage with more people.
Yeah.
But now you don't have to do that. You could just go to your phone and have 2,000 friends.
Interestingly enough here, though, it says that squinting at our phone clearly isn't fun because more than half of us stream shows on a TV.
Yeah.
55% of us stream shows on a TV versus a lot of people just sit and watch it on their phone, which is just crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. I mean, you would think that the people that do that are ones that maybe travel a lot and not at home, where they can be stationary to watch something, on their television. But that 10 hours is still a lot of time to be looking at a screen.
Right. Wisconsin's Morning News. Hey, coming up before we get to sports, we do have an update. We now appear to have a motive for that guy who went into that office in Midtown Manhattan with a gun. We'll get to that here in 2 minutes. This portion of the show brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
Looking for your best night's sleep? Get it with a new Tempur-Pedic from Steinhafels. Experience Tempur-Pedic's advanced pressure-relieving power, designed to help make aches and pains a thing of the past. Right now, Queen Hybrids start at just $52 a month with Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Upgrade with an anti-snore adjustable base for your best sleep yet. Steinhafels is your mattress destination. Shop in-store or online today.
Time to stock up on deals at Fleet Farm's Truckload Super Sale, July 31st through August 3rd. Get a Blackstone 28-inch Omnivore Griddle Bundle for just $269.99. Our own 24 packs of drinking water are 4 for $10. A WorkMax linkable 30-inch LED shop light is only $6.59. And 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are just $18.99. Head to your local Fleet Farm to haul away truckload savings. And check out our weekly ad for even more deals at fleetfarm.com.
WTMJ's Steve Scafidi here. Will rates go up or down? We'll know more on July 30th. That's when the Fed announces its next rate decision. Join Annex Wealth Management's chief economist, Dr. Brian Jacobson, for Instant Insight at 3 p.m. on July 30th. Instant Insight is when Annex goes live after important announcements like the Fed's announcement to help explain what it means for you and your money. When it comes to your financial future, a bit of expert insight could help you understand what's going on. Register now at WTMJ.com or events at AnnexWealth.com. July 30th at 3 p.m. live after the Fed announcement.
Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all.
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 Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and progressive.com.
7:42. Hi, Debbie.
Hey there. We got southbound 43 starting to slow down a bit now from just before Silver Spring all the way down, actually just before Good Hope, all the way down past Silver Spring. We've got eastbound 94 backing up just a bit, heading through the Barker Road area, starting at about Springdale to about Brookfield Road. And then back on the brakes from just before 84th Street to Hawley Road, and again through the stadium. The westbound side backing up from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and then from the zoo all the way to Elm Grove Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: a few spotty showers early this morning, otherwise hot and humid with highs in the mid-80s at the lakefront, low 90s farther inland. A pop-up shower storm is possible in the heat of the afternoon. A slight chance of rain overnight, mostly cloudy with a low of 68. Showers and storms likely on Wednesday with a high of 77. The sunshine is back on Thursday and Friday, cooler with highs in the mid-70s, and we'll hold on to the sun for Saturday with a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
75 degrees right now.
From the building, you could see people running. That's what it was. People inside the building were saying that they heard someone, they thought someone fell down the stairs, and then they realized it wasn't just stairs, it was someone shooting a gun.
Getting more details about a gun attack in Midtown Manhattan on Monday. 5 people shot, 4 of them killed, including an NYPD officer who was working as a security guard off duty at the time. That was a witness there when this all took place. So it happened inside a skyscraper on Park Avenue. It turns out now they believe the suspect, Shane Tamura, was targeting the NFL. The headquarters were in that building.
In Tamura's pocket, police said they found what sources described as a rambling 3-page handwritten note that claimed he suffered from traumatic brain injury and made vague references to the NFL, which is headquartered at 345 Park Avenue. Growing up in Los Angeles, Tamura did play football. It's not clear he actually suffered from CTE, but that note is an important clue as investigators urgently try to track down why he drove cross-country and targeted that building.
Police say he drove all the way to New York from Las Vegas, and New York City PD also said, as they spoke with Las Vegas PD knew who this guy was, and they said that he clearly had been struggling with some mental illness for years, so he had a history with that. Had the guns legally, it would appear at the moment as they continue to investigate that case. Got to get to sports, and it's going to make you smile. Got sports in a minute.
From an early age, we ask questions.
Why is the sky blue? Where does the sun go at night? Why can't I eat candy for breakfast?
As we grow, the questions continue.
Do you want to go to the prom with me? Can I borrow the car keys? Mom, where's my zit cream?
Even adults are inquisitive.
What's the meaning of life? How big is the universe? Why can't I eat candy for breakfast?
But of all the questions we get asked at Penny Mustard, most are about the penny sectional.
How can a sectional sofa look so majestic and feel so comfortable at the same time?
Can I get this in my choice of fabric or leather?
If I fall asleep on the penny sectional, can I nap forever?
The penny section.
Also, do fish get thirsty?
The penny section.
And circling back to that candy for breakfast thing?
The penny sectional, starting at $62.45 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The Brewers win a big one, 8-4 over the Cubs to take sole possession of first place in the NL Central despite falling behind 3-0 in the first inning. Brewers manager Pat Murphy was impressed with his rookie all-star Jacob Misiorowski's resilience to battle back despite the tough start to the night. The Miz would strike out 7 over 4 innings of work.
All things considered, Jacob Misiorowski was a pitch or two away from being lifted in the first inning of an 8-4 win against the Cubs. The Miz had allowed 3 runs already in the frame, but really all to his own doing.
I think it revealed a lot. First inning, we're down 3-0. He feels horrible. His adrenaline. I mean, it's like a fighter getting knocked down in the first round.
After 40 pitches in the first, he only needed 40 pitches the rest of the game to get through 4.
He wanted to go out for the 5th. So I learned a lot about him, and the kid can pitch, not just throw.
For WTMJ, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
Game 2 is tonight. Quinn Priester versus Colin Ray. Game time is at 6:40. The Major League Baseball trade deadline is Thursday, but the Brewers were active on Monday night, adding to their catching depth by acquiring Danny Jansen from Tampa Bay. Jansen, an Appleton native, will give the Crew some much-needed catching insurance behind William Contreras.
You know what's going to happen there? He's going to have like 20 RBIs.
Oh, for sure. And he's only going to play once a week because Contreras catches every day pretty much.
So he'll be just like Vaughn, who homered last night again.
Who homered last night. The Brewers belted out 3 home runs, as a matter of fact. He was one of those 3. William Contreras, people fail to remember the fact that he's been playing this entire season with a fractured middle finger on his catching hand. So Jansen coming in is much needed help, and he hit .204 with 11 home runs in 73 games with the Rays. And finally, some somber news to pass along as the baseball world mourns the death of Hall of Fame Chicago Cubs second baseman Ryne Sandberg, who died Monday at the age of 65. Sandberg announced in January 2024 that he had been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer. The Cubs announced they will wear a special jersey patch to commemorate Sandberg for the rest of the season, and that is a look at sports.
And they got the pads on now in Green Bay, right?
Yes, they do.
All
yeah, it is on and popping, literally.
Let's go. We're going to head there live. Jason Wilde joins us next.
I am so glad that Aaron Savali demanded that trade. Swing and a miss from Dansby Swanson.
When's the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or your back just aching? Or you walked down a flight of stairs without groaning, step by step, right? When's the last time you felt good? The pain never disappears, nothing changes, and you just kind of tough it out. WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for QC Kinetics. Well, the time is now to set up your free consultation with the pros at QC Kinetics. Their regenerative treatments help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies that can help you. There's no knives, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. You can set up a consultation for free, and you can bring your x-rays and your old MRIs for a no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation. Call QC Kinetics. Worst case, you learn something new. Best case, you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history, like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good Karma brand station.
750. What are you thinking, Debbie? Getting a little tight out there?
Yeah, it's starting to build up a little bit. Southbound on 41 is going to be backed up from Good Hope Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound's heavy from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past North Avenue and again right past Capitol. Westbound 94 seeing delays from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, then 92nd Street all the way to the county line. Eastbound's got some backups from Highway 164 all the way to Brookfield Road. You're back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange as well. And southbound 43, you're seeing delays from before Good Hope Road all the way down past Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
In weather, there's a chance for storms this morning with some pop-up possibilities this afternoon. Hot and humid with a high of 86 tonight. Mostly cloudy with a low of 68. Wednesday, showers and storms likely. Cooler with a high of 77. And Thursday and Friday, it will be gradual clearing, sunny and cooler. Both Thursday, Friday, mid-70s with the high, or will be the highs, and Saturday, mainly sunny with a high of 77.
Forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition.
Idea Man.
Now I know what it's like to be Brian Bulaga.
Innovator.
Who in 2010 stepped into the starting lineup for an old, broken down, washed up right tackle and helped the Packers to a Super Bowl title.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
Tausch loves to bring up Lou Gehrig and Wally Pipp. I hope he's nervous this morning because I'm not sure he's ever getting this job back.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Jason Wilde from ESPN Wisconsin and Channel3000.com joining us from Green Bay. Jason, I love the meme that I see circulating around now, and it says Nate Hobbs at Packers training camp, and the meme is Godzilla destroying everything. Is Nate Hobbs, is he going to hurt somebody for real here pretty soon?
Yeah, he already did.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully that the injury that Marshawn Lloyd, who had the worst luck injury-wise of any rookie I've covered, and this is year 30 for me. That's how bad last year was. I mean, he finally was coming back from one of his myriad of football injuries, and then had to have an emergency appendectomy. So he played one game. But what Nate Hobbs did yesterday is a no-no. You're not supposed to hit guys low in practice. You're supposed to tag off. You can collide with them. It's football, but you're supposed to look out for each other. And I talked to Nate. It was the first time I've talked to him one-on-one. So that was less than ideal, right? The coach is really mad at you. Hi, I'm Jason. But he was great because, one thing, he did feel horrible, and he said, look, the problem is I only know one way to play. And I'm sure the Raiders, because you know what kind of an operation that is, let them get away with that kind of stuff. And that's just not how Matt LaFleur operates. The killer for him is that Matt LaFleur gave a big spiel before practice to the team, showed them a video that highlighted what you should and shouldn't do for the new guys that hadn't practiced with them in pads before. And then this happens. And so LaFleur was really mad. He booted him for several series on defense. As Nate Hobbs put it, he was put in a timeout. And we all know that that's what you do when you're a parent and your kids don't behave. You have to put them in a timeout to think about their mistakes.
Yeah, we heard Matt LaFleur address his team and saying the art of engagement. And you would think that, players would know, okay, take it easy on your teammates. But as we were saying earlier, some players only know one speed, and it's hard to just kind of turn that down. But I'm one of those type of people, Jason, one of those fans that love when they put on the pads. To me, that signifies it's real. But when you really look at it, there's only a couple positions that the pads really make a difference. And in my opinion, is the running back and the offensive line, because those are the only people that really get to engage in contact. You can't touch the quarterback and you can't really touch anybody else. But do you think there's other positions that really make a difference when they put on the pads as opposed to just being in shorts and helmets?
Yeah, I think you're right, Telly. On the offensive side of the ball, that's 100% true. On the defensive side of the ball, the linebackers and the defensive linemen, I mean, for example, when they don't have pads on, they don't want their pass rushers to bull rush where they go power right into the guy, because that's something that when you're in pads, you're much more protected. You're expecting that. Now, I love what you said at the beginning there, because the other part of my conversation with Nate Hobbs was, I said, you're in trouble today, but come September 7th against the Lions, everybody in this fancy schmancy locker room and everybody wearing green and gold is going to love the way you play. And he said, that's exactly right. Today was bad. I feel horrible. I really do. I feel horrible. But today was bad. On September 7th, going to be real good. And he said it like that mischievous kid who knew he got in trouble but didn't really learn his lesson, which I think Packers fans should like.
That's funny. September 7th, that's going to be a great day. That's actually my birthday, but
FYI.
No, but Jason, so what is the goals when you second day of having pads on and you had that mishap happen yesterday, but moving forward, what are some of the things that Matt LaFleur hopes to get accomplished as they continue to progress in camp?
Well, for one, he does want this physicality. I mean, he even said before practice yesterday that he wants to do some live tackling, which he did a little bit of last year. And, of course, I always love that, too, because we're going to do live tackling with the guys that aren't that important, so if they get hurt, we're okay with it. It's such a weird dynamic. They're not going to let their most important players get tackled to the ground. No one's going to be taking, Matthew Golden down to the ground and tackling them in practice. It's just not worth the risk. So he definitely wants physicality, one. The other part is just execution. They have been sloppy at times throughout the first 5 practices. I think what he'll probably be looking for today is just better execution.
Jason Wilde's got it all covered for you. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Remember the rules of engagement over there, okay? No trouble,
rules of engagement, yes.
Don't
go
take
low.
Care, be good.
Thank you, Jason. Jason from ESPN Wisconsin. By the way, Tausch always sponsored by Kohler Services and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A.O. Smith Corporation predicts tariffs will incur a 15 to 20% hike in its costs for steel in the second half of the year. In anticipation of higher tariffs, A.O. Smith increased prices of its water heater products in North America by 6 to 9% in May. Developer Michael Amem is planning 89 for-sale condos along Lake Michigan. The condos, which will take advantage of an already built foundation at 4100 South Lake Drive, would be the first built along the area's Lake Michigan shoreline in nearly 20 years. Eaton Corporation contracts with We Energies on a clean energy project to drive carbon reduction at its Wisconsin operations. The 4-megawatt solar project is expected to go live in early 2026. I'm Logan Hansen for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Get 0% interest for up to 5 years if you order by July 31st at PellaWI.com. For windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella Experience.
The biggest thing for us in the Experience Center was the collaboration with the team. We were able to come in and sit down and go over a bunch of different options, and it wasn't just us dictating what we wanted.
They asked us things we didn't even know or think about, from colors to hardware, and because of that, we were able to get the best possible look for our home.
Hi, I'm Gina Della from Pella. Just like Jim and Haley, you too can see, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from 7 different Pella lines, side by side, at our Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. And today is a great day to stop by because right now you can get 0% interest for up to 5 years. The Pella Experience Center is on Blue Mountain Road, kitty corner to delicious Cops. With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the USA, get the look you want at a price price you can afford. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 7/31/2025.
Julie Granger is the president of Junior Achievement of Wisconsin. Julie, your organization has business technology from James Imaging Systems. Yet today, please tell us about Junior Achievement's unique mission.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has a mission of inspiring and preparing young people for success in a global economy. We serve students anywhere from kindergarten through 12th grade, and we just started serving young adults 18 to 25.
I understand financial literacy is also an important part of your mission.
Financial literacy is critical to the long-term success of every individual so that they can plan their futures and they can live their dreams.
To help turn those dreams into reality, how can everyone get involved?
We are looking for people who are willing to donate their time, treasure, and talent to the organization.
What's the first step?
The best way to reach us is through our website, wisconsin.ja.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Armstrong can run. No stolen bases on the air. There he goes.
In this race for first place, there's no room for error.
Throw to second. Is right on the back. They got him. Oh, wow. William Contreras cuts down Pete Crow Armstrong.
It's the Brewers and the Cubs in an NL Central standoff. This series is sponsored by IKEA Oak Creek. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05 on the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8:01, I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Tuesday, July 29th. Our top story, an emergency call to action in Milwaukee.
I'm Telly Hughes. New information on a deadly Manhattan shooting.
I'm Debbie Lozigan. We've got a crash now eastbound 94 right at the ramp from Mitchell Boulevard. It's off on the right shoulder, so heads up with that. Delays coming in from 84th Street to that point. The westbound side's backing up from about 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes from the zoo, crossing over into Waukesha County. More delays from Moreland Road all past Calhoun. Southbound 41, watch for backups from about Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol. Northbound slow from Watertown Plank Road up to Hampton. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Another hot one today before things cool off. Hot and humid, a chance for a pop-up storm later on, a high of 91. Tonight, still a chance for rain and cloudy, a low of 68. Right now, 77 at 8:02. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, what can be done to address the recent violence downtown? Milwaukee leaders scheduling an emergency meeting at City Hall.
The Public Health and Safety Committee will meet in special session Wednesday, demanding action from Milwaukee Police and the Office of Community Wellness and Safety on a recent uptick in violence downtown. The emergency meeting follows multiple shootings on Water Street this past weekend, as well as a car crashing through a protective barrier injuring two recent college grads July 20th, and a deadly shooting outside Element Lounge, also on Water Street, earlier this month. At Water and Kilbourne in Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Police Department is facing low recruitment and low wages. Milwaukee Police Association President Alexander Ayala tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News his officers haven't seen a pay raise in over 2 years.
The city of Milwaukee is so dangerous for police officers. We're the 5th in the country for in-line of duty death officers. So now you have low wages thrown into that compared to other jurisdictions around the area. It's just a recipe for chaos.
Milwaukee officers cannot legally go on strike, and pay negotiations with the city remain stalled.
New information this morning about a possible motive in the Midtown Manhattan shooting that took place Monday, leaving 4 people dead. The shooter, who drove all the way from Las Vegas for that crime, later took his own life. Now, the New York mayor, Eric Adams, tells CBS News the shooter had a note on him when he was found in the skyscraper on Park Avenue.
The note alluded to that he felt he had CTE, a known brain injury for those who participate in contact sports.
The shooting took place in the headquartered building of the NFL. Other companies also headquartered in that same building. The gunman identified as Shane Tamura.
Trade has served as one of the top issues addressed on President Trump's trip to Scotland. The commander-in-chief has also voiced frustration with the war in Ukraine dragging on. President Trump says if no ceasefire deal comes soon, any country buying Russian oil or energy could face 100% tariffs.
We're going to be setting a tariff for essentially the rest of the world. And that's what they're going to pay if they want to do business in the United States. Because you can't sit down and make 200 deals. But we've made the big ones. I would say it'll be somewhere in the 15 to 20% range.
In Sweden, trade negotiations will continue today between the United States and China.
Don't invest your politics. That's the advice from Annex Wealth Management CEO Dave Spano in the wake of political uncertainties like tariffs. He tells WTMJ.
This is probably going to be the strongest V-shaped recovery in history. Those who were conservative when Obama got elected said, things are going crazy and I'm going to get out. Well, they were wrong. And same thing with Trump 1, same thing with Biden, and now we got Trump 2. Look at the history of the market over all kinds of circumstances.
The current recovery marks the second fastest rebound in decades, rivaling that of the pandemic.
Officials sent a new alert predicting widespread death in Gaza unless there is immediate action. The alert is just short of an official famine declaration. News Nation's Tom Dempsey reports.
President Trump saying the U.S. and other countries plan to open food centers as the UN World Food Program estimates around 500,000 people deal with famine-like conditions. Israel also said it plans to work even more alongside the United States and Europe to make sure that humanitarian aid gets to the people who need it.
International pressure led Israel to announce daily humanitarian pauses in fighting in parts of Gaza and airdrops. The UN and Palestinians on the ground say there hasn't been much change.
Coming up, the true cost of natural disasters.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 8:06.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Hey, this is Honest Eddie from the car lot down the street.
Hi, Honest Eddie.
Is it true your showrooms don't have any employees?
That's right. Hasselus mattress showrooms are employee-free.
Now, don't you be dishonest with Honest Eddie.
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guide. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, to make it in sales, you gotta pressure people. Like, what's your budget? Or, I know it's the most expensive model, but trust me, it's the right one for you. And what's it gonna take to get you into a Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest today?
But that's hassling customers.
Yeah, so?
Our store is called Hassle Less Mattress.
Just change the name. How about Wacky Westerns?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Hasseless Mattress, 100% Eddie free. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hasseless.com.
Hi, I'm Erik Brown, owner of Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. We install anything decks and more. Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 8:07.
Milwaukee police are searching for a missing 13-year-old girl after her mother received threatening phone calls and text messages. Jamila Norwood last in contact with her family Monday afternoon near 24th and Burleigh. They heard a voice in the background during that phone call threatening to attack her and push her down the stairs. They're looking for more information. We do have pictures on our website at WTMJ.com.
An insurance company has tallied the cost of natural disasters so far in 2025.
The L.A. wildfires and severe spring thunderstorms in the U.S. are just a few of the natural disasters that have contributed to the more than $131 billion in global losses for the first half of this year. That's according to a new report from the insurance company Munich Re, which says it's lower than last year at this time, but above long-term averages. The analysis indicates $80 billion of the loss total was covered by insurance. A Munich Re climate scientist says climate change plays an increasing role in natural disasters. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
1 in 10 Americans are now a millionaire.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
The Swiss bank UBS says 23.8 million people in the U.S. have a net worth of at least $1 million, a 15-fold increase from 30 years ago. Each day, 1,000 Americans become millionaires, thanks largely to their rising home values and 401ks. But those seven figures aren't what they used to be. As Michael Ashley Schulman at Running Point Capital Advisors puts it, $1 million is the new mass affluent middleweight class, financially secure, but 2 zeros short of private jet territory. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 8:09.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often, because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
WTMJ, Steve Scafidi here. Will rates go up or down? We'll know more on July 30th. That's when the Fed announces its next rate decision. Join Annex Wealth Management's chief economist, Dr. Brian Jacobson, for Instant Insight at 3 p.m. on July 30th. Instant Insight is when Annex goes live after important announcements like the Fed's announcement to help explain what it means for you and your money. When it comes to your financial future, a bit of expert insight could help you understand what's going on. Register now at WTMJ.com or events at AnnexWealth.com. July 30th at 3 p.m. live after the Fed announcement.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
Well, we got some backups and a crash to deal with right now. Eastbound 94 right about at Mitchell Boulevard. It's off on the right shoulder, so heads up. Delays coming in from just before 84th Street to that point. We got the westbound side slowing down from about 35th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes west of Highway 100 into Waukesha County. Southbound 43, you got backups from Good Hope Road all the way down past Silver Spring. Back on the brakes just before Capitol Drive all the way down to about, Locust, that's the word I'm looking for. Southbound on 41, backing up from Appleton Avenue all the way down to about Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your forecast sponsored by Big Fish Contracting. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to see how they're renovating homes and redeeming an industry. Plus, tune into today's Brewers pregame show for that Big Fish roof update. There is a chance for a storm to pop up later on. Hot and humid today again, a high of 91. Tonight, slight chance for a shower and a low of 68. Wednesday, things cool down. Still a chance for rain tomorrow, high of 77. Thursday, sunny and cooler, a high of 74. Friday, sunny, 74. Saturday, sunny, 77. So after today, the humidity will disappear for a bit. Right now at 8:13, it's 77 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Telly Hughes.
And good morning to you, Wisconsin's Morning News. Erik and Telly. Telly in for Vince Vitrano today. Telly, big day today in New Berlin.
Happening today.
So, they're going to be talking about a wheel tax today in New Berlin. Special Committee of the Whole. And this is the only item on the agenda.
Oh, wow.
A wheel tax. So, what is a wheel tax? Well, basically, it's a fee on your vehicle. The state charges you. Sometimes the county does as well. Well, now local municipalities have been doing this more and more as well. Joining us from the Wisconsin Policy Forum, he's one of the policy researchers there. It's Mark Sommerhauser on Wisconsin's Morning News. Mark, basically, in a nutshell, that is a wheel tax, right? Just another opportunity to tack on a fee for a vehicle?
Yeah, that's right, Erik. So basically, the state collects, an annual vehicle registration fee. It's $85 a year for automobiles, $100 a year for light trucks. But then state law also permits counties and municipalities to tack on an additional fee if their governing board votes to do so.
So some counties handle this, and the state obviously, but not every county and not every community.
Correct. Yeah, their governing board, the city council or the county board does have to take a vote to actually enact one of these local wheel taxes.
And Mark, I'm little, I won't say baffled by this, but I'm just a little confused as to how these counties and municipalities can just invoke this whatever tax they want to put on there, and the citizens have no say on it, and they vote on it and say, okay, this is what we're doing, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right. So state law does allow, again, these city councils, village boards, county boards to take that vote to adopt a wheel tax. So, the say that the citizens really have, I guess, is who they elect, right, to the city council or to the county board. And then the wheel tax can be enacted. Now, there are some kind of stipulations that state law does place on these wheel taxes. They have to be flat fees, so they have to be the same amount regardless of the value or the age or the weight of the vehicle. As of now, all of them in all of the counties and municipalities that we've tracked are between $10 a year on the low end and $40 a year on the high end.
And it's attractive for municipalities to consider this because you don't have to deal with a referendum. You can just enact it, right? And in New Berlin's case, they have a nearly $4 million budget deficit. The Freeman reporting that Elm Grove also considering this now in Waukesha County. Those would be the first ones in Waukesha County, I would believe. But this isn't unprecedented. This has been something that's been taking place across the state for a bit now.
That's right, Eric. So the forum has been tracking this for a number of years. And you're also correct that these are the first communities in Waukesha County to kind of consider enacting these fees. However, if you look throughout the rest of the state, it has been happening now for over a decade. It's kind of a similar story, I think, in a lot of these communities. They are kind of seeing mounting fiscal pressures, stagnant levels of state aid, growth in their property tax revenues that in most cases has been below the rate of inflation. And then the other piece has been very sharp increases in the costs of maintaining and building roads. I should note as well that these wheel taxes, if a municipality or a county does adopt them, they're only permitted to use those revenues for transportation-related expenses, right? So they can't just plug it into their general fund and say we're going to spend it on whatever other things. It does have to be spent on transportation. But just to give you a sense of the scope of this, our research found that back in 2011, there were only 4 communities in Wisconsin that had local wheel taxes. Most of them actually were small communities. Only one of them, the city of Milwaukee, had more than 80,000 people. Fast forward to now, we're up to 63 local governments with wheel taxes. Again, that's municipalities and counties. So it really, we've seen quite a dramatic increase over the last decade plus.
Mark, as Erik mentioned, the New Berlin has almost a $4 million deficit. And these calculations are these I guess taxes or this wheel tax. Do they calculate how much they will need for a certain amount of time to get out of this deficit? Because we hear deficit and you also hear, okay, we need to get extra money in to kind of combat this deficit, but we never hear how long this tax is going to apply or why or how they came up with the number that they came up with.
Yeah, so I can't speak in too detailed of a fashion to the situation with New Berlin. I haven't taken a specific look at their fiscal situation, but typically the way it works is these wheel taxes are enacted every year going forward from the point that the local governing board does adopt them. The deficit, I'm guessing, typically in most cases when you hear a local government invoke that, that's just the difference between the projected revenues that they're going to take in for the next year versus the projected spending levels. So, my guess is that the officials in New Berlin are probably going to be looking at all the options, both on the spending side and on the revenue side. I think Erik kind of mentioned at the beginning, the wheel tax is significant, and the reason why a lot more local governments are turning to it is one of the few, pretty much the only way right now under state law that local governments can kind of create a new revenue stream without having to take that additional step of going to referendum. Now, there are some communities, your listeners might live in some of them, that have had to vote on these property tax referenda where the local government can say, we want to increase the property tax we're going to ask our citizens to vote on whether to authorize us to do that. But that's obviously an additional step that they would have to take.
Yeah, I was curious about that, Mark. We're talking with Mark Sommerhauser from the Wisconsin Policy Forum, is whether or not there are other fees that could be taken advantage of as well, or if this was really the only one that is like this, if this was the unicorn in state law that allows a municipality to pull this off.
It kind of is. There is another mechanism that some communities have explored here in Wisconsin that's called a transportation utility fee. And that is basically a different kind of transportation-related fee that a few communities sought to implement. However, it does look like the courts in Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Supreme Court has, I believe last year, actually struck that down in a court ruling, found that transportation utility fee is essentially is a tax, and then it's unlawful. And so that's now seemingly been kind of thrown out of the mix as a possibility for local government. So yeah, this wheel tax right now under state law is kind of unique.
We should also point out we can always get upset at the mayor or the council members that are in these local municipalities, but they're also doing whatever they can. They're trying to figure out a way to take care of a money issue that they're dealing with. Oftentimes, Mark, one of the things that I often hear with talking to anybody, whether it's a neighbor or someone who listens to the program, et cetera, everyone always brings up, well, what about the surplus? Billions of dollars in a surplus that people, the lawmakers are just swimming in. It's a coin pool that they're all swimming in like Scrooge McDuck or something like that. But that's not really the case anymore, right? Like this idea of that surplus, we shouldn't expect that to be something that is always just kind of there. Is that right?
No. And I mean, historically, it's been very unusual for state government to have a surplus. We've been in an unusual sort of state of affairs here the last 4 years. It's true that over the last 4 years, there has been a very significant surplus. And in the previous two state budgets, Governor Tony Evers, Democratic governor, and the Republican legislature kind of struggled to come to terms on what they should do with that surplus. However, the budget that was just signed here on July 3rd is going to spend down, it looks like, the vast majority of that surplus on kind of a mix of some spending increases for schools, childcare, transportation. There is also a funding increase for the universities, but then also a couple of very large income tax cuts that are also going to spend down a part of that surplus. So it does look like in 2 years, there is going to be a much smaller surplus, if any. And actually, we'll see how tax collections come in, but the odds are much stronger, actually, that in 2 years, that state government could be looking once again at a deficit rather than a surplus.
Mark Sommerhauser from the Wisconsin Policy Forum, the policy researcher there. Thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
So the wheel tax tonight in New Berlin will be considered. They're not going to act on it tonight, but they are going to consider it and learn about it as they go through this process. 8:22, speaking of wheels, Debbie Lazaga.
Yes.
How are the roads?
Well, we got southbound 41 still backed up from Appleton Avenue down to about Capitol Drive. Northbound is slow from just north of Watertown Plank Road all the way up towards Hampton. We do have a crash on 94 eastbound right about at 84th Street. That's off on the left shoulder. And then beyond that, we've got another one at Mitchell Boulevard off on the right shoulder. So delays pretty much from 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Westbound just has a little bit of a backup from Highway 100 to the county line. Southbound 43 slow from Good Hope Road pretty much all the way down almost to North Avenue, not quite. Northbound 4394 also slowing down around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Are you struggling with stubborn weight gain during perimenopause or menopause? It's not your fault. Your changing hormones are forcing your body to store fat, no matter how little you eat or how much you exercise. But there's hope. The Milwaukee Weight Loss Proprietary Natural Program helps restore your metabolism and reset your hormonal balance so you can finally lose the weight and keep it off. No counting calories, no prepackaged meals, no injections, just real results. Join thousands thousands of women who've discovered how to lose 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks to feel like themselves again. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi. I dropped 40 pounds with Milwaukee Weight Loss. No crazy workouts, no meal kits or shakes. They helped reset my metabolism, and the weights actually stayed off. It's been a game changer for me. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Schedule your free consultation today by calling 262-393-2334. or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit BigFishContracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at ACCUNET.com.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands. Point taken with Scafidi and Bry.
If you were a self-identified fascist, is that more than just a political belief?
It's an amazing question.
Is it good or bad to be having these conversations?
Should we give them the
public?
airtime? Right?
And I think the problem is pretending that it doesn't exist.
If it stays in the shadows, it grows. And those kinds of beliefs, that kind of hate, it's worse.
Weekdays from 10 to noon on WTMJ.
Telly, I don't know if you've noticed this, but more supermarkets are now using digital ads, meaning the price you pay for a particular grocery item can change several times a day when you are walking the store.
The price of your groceries may soon change right in front of your eyes. A glimpse of what shoppers could soon see is already on display in Europe, where the Wall Street Journal found prices at some grocery stores can change up to 100 times per day. The technology behind it? Digital shelf labels, small electronic screens that can instantly display new prices at the push of a button.
So they just keep changing prices, ABC's Rhiannon Alley.
They're being used more and more across the U.S. Walmart has installed digital tags in more than 400 locations, with plans to reach 2,300 stores by next year. Kroger and Whole Foods are expanding pilot programs as well.
So some states, not Wisconsin, but other states have introduced bills to limit the use of digital labels. In Arizona, a state lawmaker introduced a bill to ban digital tags entirely. We'll see if they start popping up more and more in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I wonder why, though. Like, why would they ban them? It seems like a deal where
For
they
surge
just
pricing fears, maybe?
Yeah, but most of the time, it's the prices going down more than up when you're dealing with digital coupons. But I just thought it was a way to attract more people to download the apps of their favorite stores, and they'll be able to get certain discounts or whatever through digital coupons.
Keep an eye out for it, because if it's not here yet, it's going to be 828.
Hey, boaters! At Kendor Marine, we have everything you could want, think of, or wish for your boat. We're committed to making sure you always have a place to fulfill every boating need that you have. And if you ask around, you'll find out our prices always beat the other guys. This is Dave Doro from Kendor Marine. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th Ryan Road in Franklin. Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water. Hey, boaters! boaters! This is Dave Dorrell from Kendor Marine. And hey, boaters love shopping here. How do I know? Well, most times it's because they tell me, Dave, I love shopping here. But other times it's because they tell you. If you need a reason to come here, just check out our online reviews. They tell the whole story. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
Hi, this is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. And you know, I'm a consumer just like you. And my ears perk up for pain relief messages just like you. But some of these ads...
Since I started taking this natural supplement, within weeks, my pain is completely gone.
I mean, come on. Give me a break. The truth is, there are imbalances in your body causing your pain. And there's physical therapy, which we are highly skilled at, that can improve imbalances. And there are alternative pain solutions. But not all of them are proven, safe, effective, or affordable. At Rejuvenex, the effectiveness of Toradol joined with hyaluronic acid has been proven. Our treatments are affordable, FDA approved, safe, and they're powerful medicines. They calm inflammation and cushion joints, and they can make your pain go away.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. New York City Mayor Eric Adams says the gunman who killed 4 people at a Manhattan office building last night was trying to target the headquarters of the National Football League, but he took the wrong elevator. Investigators also say 27-year-old Shane Tamura was found with a note in his pocket alluding to the idea that he had CTE and put some blame on the NFL for it. Tamura played high school football and had a mental health history, police say. 4 people were killed and 1 was seriously wounded. Tamura took his own life afterwards. Another mass shooting, meantime, in Reno, Nevada.
Police say a suspect opened fire on a group of people outside the Grand Sierra Resort, killing 3 and wounding several more. Officers engaging the suspect in a shootout. He was taken to a hospital in critical condition.
ABC's Lana Moise. At least 77 Palestinians killed in the past 24 hours, most while seeking food, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry. Experts warning the territory is on the brink of famine. This is ABC News.
We got a couple of accidents to deal with. 94 eastbound at 84th Street off on the left shoulder, and then another one at about Mitchell Boulevard off on the right shoulder. Delays coming out of the Zoo interchange all the way through the stadium interchange. Westbound 94 is backing up right through the stadium interchange to Mitchell Boulevard. We've got some delays on 4394 northbound coming around the Plainfield curve all the way up to Oklahoma Avenue. More delays from about the KK River crossing all the way up towards Lapham. And then we've got southbound 43 backing up from Hampton, actually make that Good Hope Road all the way down to about Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
A chance for a shower this morning popping up, otherwise maybe a storm later on as well. Hot and humid again today, a high of 91. Tonight still a chance for rain, a low of 68. The humidity dissipates starting tomorrow. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee leaders are scheduling an emergency meeting now. They're going to hold one at City Hall this week to address the recent violence downtown. Public Health and Safety Committee is going to meet special session on Wednesday. The agenda will include demanding communication from Milwaukee Police and the Office of Community Wellness regarding plans to address the violence downtown recently. The meeting follows multiple shootings near Water Street this past weekend. Car crash through a protective barrier that left 2 women injured on July 20th, and a deadly shooting outside Element Lounge earlier in the month.
A driver having a medical episode crashes into an Aldi's in Greenfield. Authorities say the car crashed into the front of the grocery store on 108th and Cold Spring Road around 11 a.m. on Monday. No injuries were reported for the 2 people inside the vehicle or anyone inside the store.
A second listening session for feedback on the Milwaukee Public School system will take place tonight this week. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius heard from the community Monday about key issues like class sizes, resources for special education students, grief counseling, and plans for bringing enrollment up in the MPS.
You know, there are a lot of things facing the district right now at one time, and building and regaining your all trust is going to take time. And we have to, the only way to do it is to show you, right? Is to show you that we mean business and that we take care of things, you know, as we find out about it.
Another listening session is going to take place tonight at South Division High School.
Milwaukee's War Memorial Center is seeking more money to preserve the facility. A fundraising campaign launched Monday aims to raise $18 million. The recently signed Wisconsin biennial budget includes $5 million for the center. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports Milwaukee County's financial contribution to the facility will hit zero by 2034.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:34.
Shop Tempur-Pedic mattresses at Steinhafels. Queen hybrids start at just $52 a month with 60-month financing. Plus, get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Add an anti-snore adjustable base and sleep even better. Only at Steinhafels.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Right now, as the Wall Street opens up now, and we're underway with trading. Right now, the Dow is starting the day down 23. The NASDAQ is up 107, and the S&P is up 12 as they just get started. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Certa Pro Painters. They painted the exterior of our house. I loved it because they're thorough and they're thoughtful. As a matter of fact, they pointed out some wood that might need to eventually be replaced. They just looked at the whole house, and I felt like they absolutely cared. Get on Certa Pro's calendar right now. The summer sales discount goes through July 31st. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or business. They'll do it the right way the first time. Each Certa Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. It's Certa Pro Painters.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
Come with me now.
All right, so as far as the humidity goes...
It feels like an armpit out here.
It should get better starting tomorrow as we deal with all of this heat and then, of course, the dew points and all that.
It's not just the heat, but it's also the humidity.
Yes, it's the humidity, really. Listen to this. So it's going to be rough today, a high of 91 and hot and humid, but we don't have any heat advisories or anything like that. And yesterday, actually, I will say this. Yesterday evening was quite awesome outside.
Yeah, you had to make it to the evening.
Yeah, you got to
Eric.
get there. You're right. But listen to how hot it is in some of these other areas. So in Memphis, Tennessee,
120, by the way.
120 degrees.
And humidity is different. I know this is a little bit of a debate, but it is different than a dry 120 because when you have the humidity, that means that your skin cannot evaporate off the sweat, which is how your body cools down. If it's a dry 120, that is evaporating very rapidly and can allow you to cool down a little bit more.
So that's Kenton Jawicki. He's with ABC. He's a meteorologist there. So 120 degrees there in the humidity. So it's not a dry heat there. It's what they're dealing with. But after today, Telly, it looks great. Yes. Actually, State Fair should really be awesome the first few days anyway. Thursday through Saturday, highs in the mid-70s with sun out. I mean, that should be a perfect weather condition.
That's more like it.
In fact, it might even be a little too cool, you could argue.
No, I'm not going to argue that after all these heat indexes that have been reaching triple digits. So
Right.
I welcome the mid-70s.
Well, it's gotten to a point where you can't even go outside at any time of day, whether it's 6 a.m., even go out there and you're already starting to sweat, you're starting to stick, and you were just walking out to get the garbage can or something. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like you said, your kids are runners, and they've been running early, but
Don't
coming
matter.
back, it doesn't matter.
Just sweating bullets.
Yeah.
All right, we got Pat Murphy of your first place Milwaukee Brewers. He joins us next for Brewers 360. First, the roads. It's Debbie Lazaga.
An accident on 94 eastbound at 84th Street is off on the left shoulder, so heads up with that. And then another one a little bit further on at Mitchell Boulevard off on the right shoulder, still being taken care of. So right now we got delays from 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to about 35th Street. Southbound 43 still backing up a bit from Good Hope Road, pretty much all the way down in pockets past Capitol Drive. We've got southbound 41 slowing down from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive as well, with the northbound side slowing around the North Avenue curve and then from Capitol up towards Hampton. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ, Steve Scafidi here. Will rates go up or down? We'll know more on July 30th. That's when the Fed announces its next rate decision. Join Annex Wealth Management's chief economist, Dr. Brian Jacobson, for Instant Insight at 3 p.m. on July 30th. Instant Insight is when Annex goes live after important announcements like the Fed's announcement to help explain what it means for you and your money. When it comes to your financial future, a bit of expert insight could help you understand what's going on. Register now at WTMJ.com or events at AnnexWealth.com. July 30th at 3 p.m. live after the Fed announcement.
Time to stock up on deals at Fleet Farm's Truckload Super Sale, July 31st through August 3rd. Get a Blackstone 28-inch Omnivore Griddle Bundle for just $269.99. Our own 24 packs of drinking water are 4 for $10. A WorkMax linkable 30-inch LED shop light is only $6.59. And 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are just $18.99. Head to your local Fleet Farm to haul away truckload savings. And check out our weekly ad for even more deals at fleetfarm.com.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit frederick.com/cancer.
Manager of our Milwaukee Brewers, Pat Murphy.
I think it's a very complimentary way, and it's also a way for me to remember guys, because at my age, it's hard to remember everybody after 46 years.
This is Brewers 360.
Brewers 360 sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
McGill looks in, and the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 101 at the top of the zone. McGill slams the door, and the Brewers take game one in this three-game series. 8-4 your final, and the Brewers sit alone atop the NL Central.
What a way to make a statement. Joining us on Wisconsin's Morning News is the manager of your Milwaukee Brewers, Pat Murphy. Good morning, Murph.
Good morning.
Boy, what a start to that game. It was a little shaky for the Miz, but you said something after the game that we found very interesting. You said that you discovered that the kid can pitch, not just throw. That there's more to pitching than just throwing the ball. What does that mean? What did you mean by that?
Well, it was a disaster. The first 8 hitters were a disaster, and it really wasn't Miz. The first ball should have been caught in center field, so that's one out. The next play is a walk. That's a really close pitch with 2 strikes. The next play is, a ball off his shin. That if it doesn't hit his shin, it's a double play. If the ball just keeps going up the middle, goes right to Ortiz, and then he makes an error on a bunt, then he strikes a guy out, wild pitch, strikes a guy out, And then he's going to get out of the inning, swinging bunt, gets up, hyperextends his knee, throws the ball in right field, 2 runs more score, so it's 3-0. Then he walks the next guy and then settles down, strikes the next guy out. So it's 3 punch outs, disastrous inning, but really he didn't do anything that badly. He threw a wild pitch, walked the guy in a close pitch, and that rattles people, especially a young kid in front of a huge crowd and big series and all that kind of stuff. So I was proud of the kid the way he bounced back.
Yeah, Murph, just to follow up on that, you never want to go down 3-0 in the first inning in a game of that magnitude. But is there a small piece of you as a manager that is interested to see how a rookie will respond and react in those circumstances? Because you can only assume what he would do in those type of situations, but to have that situation present, was there a little piece of you that says, okay, I'm gonna see how this, this kid handles this?
That's exactly what I wrote in my notes. What an opportunity to see. This kid has an opportunity right now to show himself, most importantly, hey, I can do this. This is the big leagues. It's messy. It's the jungle, and I'm gonna respond. And that was the greatest thing that came out of the night, is that your guy that's a budding star has what it takes inside, and he's going to be challenged again over and over in his career. But it was just, I thought it was awesome.
Yes, because so far throughout his first 6 starts, he has had, well, it's been more than 6 starts now, but he has pitched against Clayton Kershaw. He has pitched against Paul Skeens.
Right,
he has been in some really big moments, his series out in New York, and to constantly see how he's dealt with every situation. I mean, you're just seeing him mature right in front of you, correct?
No doubt. I mean, he has 6 starts, and these 6 starts, every one of them shows signs that, hey, this kid's going to be all right, and he's learning as he goes. He's wide-eyed. He's got more. I joke and call him Forrest Gump, but this guy has way more awareness than you think. And, he could be very, very special.
And some home runs last night. It must have been nice to see a long ball for a change.
Yeah, we were holding back on those till we needed them.
It worked out perfectly for you.
Yeah, Yelich again stepped up in a big time. All the people around here have heard Yelich's name since 2018, but to see him step up the way he did, and he's been going through a tough stretch. It hasn't been perfect, but to be the player he is 12 seasons later in his major league career is just, it's just phenomenal, because the everyday grind doesn't allow you to be a star every night. In basketball, Kobe can go out there and score 50 and then 35. There's a little space in between. He's just so incredible every single night. Well, in baseball, there's different level of stars. You know what I mean? And this guy is just a consistent help the team, leadership, playoff facets of the game. He doesn't just score. He does every little thing. So it's kind of cool. You don't notice it like you notice the Kobe type stars. You notice it in baseball with just the consistency. It's really, really special.
Well, Murph, we know Game 2 is tonight, and it's another big game, and we know the approach that you and the Brewers have. You just attack each day at a time, but we haven't spoken to you since last week, and on Friday, I think it was Friday. Yes, it was Friday when the Brewers put on the home run derby and brought back a lot of ex-stars that played very influential roles in the organization. How much fun was that? Because we saw you, well, I was watching it on television. And I saw you come back out, and you seemed to be really enjoying yourself. It seemed like that was a very fun time for the organization.
Really was. I mean, unexpected a little bit. Like, we had no idea that 40,000 people would stay, and they did, and had a great time. And seeing those former stars, the Prince and Gomez and Braun, Corey Hart, Giovanni Gallardo, and plenty of other people showed. Plenty of other alums showed. Sogard, Knebel. So for me, seeing all those guys, it's what I do. It's my life work. Seeing all those guys was just incredible. And Yeah, just the way the fans reacted, and I mean, there's going to be a home run derby too for sure.
Yeah, they got to bring that back. They got to bring it back.
They should have managers do it.
Yeah, well, here I'm going to tell you something. Other teams are going to start doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They can't look and say, wait, what do the Brewers do? And they see 40-some thousand staying for a home run derby. How do you monetize it? That's what they're thinking.
Oh, for sure.
So,
So Murph,
it's a great event.
Trade deadline is Thursday. I know you guys made a trade for a backup catcher on Monday. Do you need to settle the clubhouse? Do you need to keep an eye on that? Every time you get a text from Matt Arnold, are you jumpy? Like, is this thing top of mind for everybody, or do you try to tamp it down as much as you can?
Well, it is in the guys' minds, especially you got to make a move like we made last night. We designated Erik, huge member of our team, huge member of the clubhouse, leader, been with us for 2 years, been through thick and thin. Oh yeah, that was no fun. It's still no fun. It still hurts. I still reach back out to him today. His family and his family's part of this thing. He's got 4 kids. That's really tough. Now, I do think in his case that if he makes it through waivers, he comes back with us and he's in AAA. And then last year, we used 3 catchers as in September, so we could do it again. So it might not be that different, but it just pains me, to change the clubhouse in any way. But I hear this guy coming in is fantastic, Jansen. He's a veteran. He's a really good hitter and experienced. So, that will help. The front office does a great job. They know what we need. It's not big splashes usually, but it's little things that help a team. So I trust in them.
And Murph, how long does it take to get a new player acclimated to your clubhouse and how the Brewers do things? And because as fans, you just say, oh, we need a pitcher. And then, you expect the organization to just get a pitcher. But there's a lot of chemistry that goes on within a clubhouse. How long does it normally take to get a new guy acclimated?
Well, I think people can relate. Anybody right now listening can say, yeah, we had a new person at our job, and there's just this transition period, and it's the same thing. It's just a new person. Our guys we have a bunch of great people, and they will accept anyone until they cross the line. And when you get a veteran, you hope that they get it, and they usually do. But there's a lot of emotions involved. You lose your friend. You're close with one guy, and now he's gone, and this guy shows up. So there's a lot of emotion with it. But these guys are pros, but this is part of the game that people don't realize. They don't realize how difficult it is for families to just say, "Okay, you're gone. Move your family." Yeah, it's really hard.
It worked out pretty well for Andrew Vaughn so far.
It has. It has. He's done the work. You know what I mean?
Right.
He made the adjustments. So.
Well, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Right, you guys are done with me. I can hear the music in the background.
Trust me, we don't want to be. It's the clock that dictates us a little bit. Murph, we could not be happier for you. You guys sit alone in first place. Go get him again tonight, all right?
Thanks, guys.
Pat Murphy on Brewers 360.
I am so glad that Aaron Savali demanded that trade. Swing and a miss from
All right, Debbie.
All right, still seeing these delays with the accidents. There's one 94 eastbound on the left shoulder at 84th Street and another one eastbound 94 at Mitchell Boulevard off on the right shoulder. So delays coming in from 84th Street all the way through the stadium interchange to 35th. Westbound's backed up just before 27th Street through the stadium as well. Southbound on 43, we got your backups from Good Hope Road all the way down past Locust, so give yourself some extra time there. We've also got some delays southbound 41 from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Northbound side's pretty much eased up, just maybe a quick tap of the brakes heading through the North Avenue area. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Hey Wisconsin, it's construction season and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Now that you're ready to purchase a new bike, do yourself a solid by stopping by one of our Wheel and Sprocket stores to test ride an electric bike, better known today as an e-bike. And let me tell you, these bikes are a game changer because you can ride a whole lot further without even breaking a sweat. We're talking 20 to 50 miles on a single charge. So even riding uphill comes with tons of thrills. But before you decide, stop by any of our Wheel and Sprocket locations first and let us explain in detail what e-bikes are all about. And once you're here, you'll find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride. After all, here at Wheel and Sprocket, we love bikes, which is why bikes are all we do.
Visit wheelandsprocket.com for a location near you.
I'm Amelia Kegel with Wheel and Sprocket. Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
It's the best 11 days of the summer. The Wisconsin State Fair is back.
All of the best food concoctions, the entertainment that gets you moving, and of course, WTMJ broadcasting live from the Wisconsin State Fair.
Come see your favorite WTMJ hosts and shows live from the Bank 59 studios just north of the Expo Center.
Live from the Wisconsin State Fair, we are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station, WTMJ.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
We're getting some new details this morning about what went down in Midtown New York, where this man from Las Vegas drove all the way to Manhattan, downtown, and opened fire at 345 Park Avenue, which is where the NFL and KPMG and some other businesses are headquartered. This guy apparently was upset with the NFL. He left a note saying that he had suffered from CTE. He was frustrated with that. This guy played, it appears anyway, he played some football when he was younger, and he had mental health issues, and he blamed the NFL for that. He went up to the 33rd floor after shooting and killing a couple of people in the lobby, and when he went up there, he shot another person, and he realized that was the wrong elevator bank. He was trying to go to the NFL headquarters office, and he went up the wrong elevator bank. Ended up taking his own life. Now the NFL responding to this.
In a note to employees of the NFL, one of the high-profile tenants of 345 Park, Commissioner Roger Goodell sharing that a league employee was seriously injured in the attack. He is in the hospital in stable condition. And Goodell also writing that employees should work from home, at least for today, adding, quote, "We will get through this together."
That's ABC's Will Reeve on the scene. So 4 people killed, another person injured as they continue to investigate how this happened, why this happened, and what the motivation was. It appears he was going after the NFL. It's 8:58.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A.O. Smith Corporation predicts tariffs will incur a 15 to 20% hike in its costs for steel in the second half of the year. In anticipation of higher tariffs, A.O. Smith increased prices of its water heater products in North America by 6 to 9% in May. Developer Michael Amem is planning 89 for-sale condos along Lake Michigan. The condos, which will take advantage of an already built foundation at 4100 South Lake Drive, would be the first built along the area's Lake Michigan shoreline in nearly 20 years. Eaton Corporation contracts with We Energies on a clean energy project to drive carbon reduction at its Wisconsin operations. The 4-megawatt solar project is expected to go live in early 2026. I'm Logan Hansen for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
It's there all day, and it never goes away. I hate pain. It robs us of so much. But if you take action today, your pain could be gone tomorrow. Because at Rejuvenex, we harness the power of Toradol and hyaluronic acid to calm the inflammation and cushion joints. Rejuvenex treatments are safe, they're FDA approved, and in most cases, insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, pays for them. At as low as $65 per injection per joint, our treatments are affordable. It's not a gimmick. It's pharmacological medicine administered in office in a simple and convenient manner. And with it, our patients have been able to avoid risky surgery and begin to stop the onset of arthritis. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and here we've made pain treatment as easy and affordable as it can be.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Summer is finally here. We're outside and maybe noticing the condition of our old windows. Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors, your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient replacement windows. Boost your curb appeal with top brands like Pella, Anderson, and Marvin, tailored to fit your home, your style, and your budget. Plus, installation by employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, fiberglass, all on display in their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
9:01. I'm Erik Bilstad. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Tuesday, July 29th. Our top story, trying to target the NFL.
I'm Telly Hughes, addressing growing violence in downtown Milwaukee.
Hot and humid today. Chance for a pop-up shower this morning. More storms possible later on today. A high of 91. Tonight, slight chance for rain and a low of 68. Then the humidity will dissipate starting tomorrow. Right now, 80 at 9:02. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the gunman who killed 4 people at a Midtown Manhattan office building on Monday was trying to target the NFL.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams told CBS Mornings Shane Tamura of Las Vegas killed 3 people in the lobby of 345 Park Avenue and planned to go up to the NFL's corporate offices.
He took the wrong elevator bank.
He wound up on the 33rd floor office of Rudin Management, where he killed another person before taking his own life. Tamura had a note on him saying he suffered from CTE.
He appeared to have blamed the NFL for his injury.
Tamura never played in the NFL. He did play high school football. Michael Wallace, CBS News, New York.
Milwaukee leaders have scheduled an emergency meeting at City Hall aiming to address recent violence in downtown Milwaukee. WTMJ's Adam Roberts is live in the Breaking News Center.
The Public Health and Safety Committee will meet in special session Wednesday, demanding action from Milwaukee Police and the Office of Community Wellness and Safety on a recent uptick in violence downtown. The emergency meeting follows multiple shootings on Water Street this past weekend, as well as a car crashing through a protective barrier barrier injuring 2 recent college grads July 20th, and a deadly shooting outside Element Lounge, also on Water Street, earlier this month. At Water and Kilbourne in Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Community members are sharing ideas on how to improve MPS.
Monday night was the second session of new Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius' Listen and Learn Tour. Top concerns included class sizes, extracurricular activities, special education students, and grief counseling services. Dr. Caselius told the community,
I bring hard information. I know it's not popular. Live in Milwaukee, and I've chose it to be my city that I'm going to live in to make a difference. I could have chose to go anywhere. I came here.
The next listening session is Tuesday night at 6 p.m. held at South Division High School. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
A federal judge ruled against President Trump's administration, saying Planned Parenthood clinics nationwide must still be allowed to receive Medicaid reimbursements, even if they continue to provide access to abortions. News Nation's Nick Smith.
The judge says the White House unconstitutionally targeted Planned Parenthood for providing access to the procedure. This comes weeks after a provision in the president's sweeping spending bill implemented a 1-year ban on state Medicaid payments to any health care nonprofit that provides abortions. Planned Parenthood argued that nearly 200 clinics would have had to close if its Medicaid funds were cut off.
This would result in more than 1 million patients losing access to health care.
Increasing supply and slowing demand are finally causing housing prices to cool. ABC's Jim Ryan's been running some of the just-released numbers.
The S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller Index lags by 2 months, so the latest figures are for May. The seasonally adjusted price of a home in 20 surveyed cities rose that month 2.8% from May of last year, slowing from the 3.4% annual gain in April. Analysts attribute the declining rate of price increases to stubbornly high interest rates.
Checking the numbers now, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Mixed bag at the morning as they get underway. The Dow is off 28. The NASDAQ up 37 and the S&P is up 7. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 9:05.
Being present and in the moment for family activities was impossible because Will Burt was so focused on the constant pain in his leg.
My wife likes to take walks. I always kind of dreaded going on walks because they hurt. The boys both play baseball. I coach their teams. I was going to do them and be in pain and be uncomfortable and kind of sacrifice my own health.
An old Achilles injury left Will coping with agonizing pain until he discovered the natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No surgery or steroids. The procedure took place in the office, and Will walked right out.
I feel great. There's no pain. There's no tenderness.
Patients like Will are feeling amazing and living their best lives.
Ironically, just got off the golf course today, so I think that's a good telltale sign that the Achilles is feeling better.
Don't be in pain another day. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
WTMJ Steve Scafidi here. Will rates go up or down? We'll know more on July 30th. That's when the Fed announces its next rate decision. Join Annex Wealth Management's chief economist, Dr. Brian Jacobson, for Instant Insight at 3 p.m. on July 30th. Instant Insight is when Annex goes live after important announcements like the Fed's announcement to help explain what it means for you and your money. When it comes to your financial future, a bit of expert insight could help you understand what's going on. Register now at WTMJ.com or events at AnnexWealth.com. July 30th at 3 p.m. live after the Fed announcement.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
Hey, it's your favorite car dealer, Honest Eddie. Is it true that there are no employees at Hasselus Mattress?
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, you gotta pressure people. Like, what do I have to do to get you into a new mattress today?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 101 at the top of the zone. McGill slams the door, and the Brewers take game one in this 3-game series.
The Brewers also take the top spot in the NL Central with their 8-4 win over the Cubs in game one of their 3-game series against the Cubs. Manager Pat Murphy tells Wisconsin's Morning News, despite a rough start from pitcher Jacob Misiorowski, his recovery was an impressive feat.
That was the greatest thing that came out of the night, is that your guy that's a budding star has what it takes inside. He's going to be challenged again over and over in his career, but it was just, I thought it was awesome.
The series continues tonight at American Family Field. Our coverage begins after the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. In other Brewers news, the team has acquired catcher Danny Jansen from the Tampa Bay Rays. The Appleton native comes back to his home state of Wisconsin. In a corresponding move, catcher Erik Hughes was designated for assignment. And training camp resumes for the Packers this morning in Green Bay. Running back Marshawn Lloyd and wide receiver Malik Heath both left practice injured on Monday.
WTMJ time saver traffic. Lots of slowdowns in and around mainly construction areas, but we are seeing some brake lights. You'll see that, of course, 4145 in both directions there north of the zoo. 94 eastbound. Highway 16 through the zoo is okay. You're going to see some slowdowns. There is a crash near 84th Street. It's not blocking any lanes, but there are some brake lights there as you get closer to the stadium. 43 southbound around Whitefish Bay, some brake lights there. It'll slow you down in 94 northbound, just north of the Mitchell. Gets a bit tight near Holt Avenue in that stretch. Of course, there's road work being done there as well. You'll get through it. It just might be a little slower than usual.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A chance for some AM showers, pop-up storms this afternoon, hot and humid with a high of 86. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 68. Wednesday, showers, storms likely, but a little cooler with a high of 77. And then on Thursday, there will be gradual clearing, sunny and cooler with the high being 74. Friday, Saturday, same thing with a high in the mid-70s. In Milwaukee, it is 78 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Telly Hughes.
9:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Erik and Telly. Telly's in for Vince. Vince is out today. Thanks for being here as always, Telly.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Lots going on out of the White House right now. President Trump is wrapping up his trip overseas in Scotland and making some news as he is overseas. The president announcing a new deadline for Russia when it comes to a ceasefire in Ukraine. Let's start with that. Joining us now, as she does every week around this time, CBS White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi. Good morning, Olivia. What are we learning about this situation with the moving deadline from the president?
Yeah, good morning, guys. This happened yesterday. The president was asked how he's feeling about those ongoing negotiations with Russia towards a ceasefire in Ukraine. The president expressing a lot of frustration with Putin. Originally, he said this was going to be a 50-day deadline that he would be giving President Putin of Russia to get to the table with Ukraine and get a ceasefire on the table. Yesterday, the president said he's growing increasingly frustrated. He said, I know what the answer is going to be in 50 days, so let's shorten this timeline. We'll make it 10 to 12 days. I'll let you guys know what it's going to be, whether it's 10, whether it's 12 days, and we'll see whether or not they come to the table and make an agreement with Ukraine. Now, in light of that, Russia has continued to strike Ukraine in some of the worst barrages of missiles we've seen in the war thus far, if that's any indication of how Vladimir Putin is responding to this new timeline.
Olivia, it appeared yesterday that the Jeffrey Epstein story followed President Trump all the way to Scotland because they were asking him about that over there. How awkward is it that he's on this world stage and is supposed to be talking trades, but everyone is still centered their attention on this Jeffrey Epstein files that are yet to be released?
Yeah, I mean, the president himself yesterday, when he was asked about that in that spray that he had with photographers and journalists, he was with Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister. The president was asked about this, and he goes, "You got to be kidding me." When asked about, when talking about the trade deals with the European Union, and then someone asked about Epstein, he's frustrated by this. It's a distraction that this White House doesn't want to talk about, but they kind of view it on two different tracks. They view it as, what the DOJ is pursuing, which is interviews with Ghislaine Maxwell, unveiling of any of the grand jury transcripts, information out of those investigations that they can share publicly to try to quell some of this interest around Epstein. And there's also the track just from the White House of the president and how he's supposed to respond to it, whether or not he is supposed to engage or ignore or deflect. And we've seen, them raise questions about some Russian interference in the 2016 election, trying to deflect there. The president also responding yesterday to a question about what his relationship with Epstein looked like back in the 90s. And it was kind of the first glimpse we had seen from Trump about why exactly he had a falling out with Jeffrey Epstein. And he said it had something to do with his club, with Epstein acting inappropriately at Mar-a-Lago and him, quote, stealing some employees from President Trump than just normal civilian Donald Trump at the time. And that's what apparently led to their falling out. Trump was also asked if he had ever gone to the island, Epstein's island. He said no, he had been invited, but he turned it down. So he just keeps continually talking and revealing these new details that certainly gin up a lot of interest. I had never heard him say that before about why they had this falling out or that he had been invited to the island and he chose to not go. So there's a really delicate balance they're trying to wage right now in the White House.
And Olivia, just following up on the whole declining the invitation to Epstein's island, I found his word choice quite interesting when he said he didn't have the privilege to go. Now, I wouldn't assume, I don't think you use the word privilege when you're talking about certain things happening to underage girls on this island. Yeah, so I don't know if it wasn't a privilege to go. I found his choice of words to be very interesting when he did address that. Just wanted to throw that out there. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that thought that either.
It certainly piqued interest from a lot of people that he said it that way.
All right. If we move to Israel and Hamas, I mean, obviously this has been an issue, obviously growing more than the last couple of years, but it's at a point now where we're starting to see more and more video of emaciated children. Starvation is appearing to set in this area, and the White House doesn't like some of the video that they're seeing there.
Yeah, you can't ignore some of the video we're seeing now, and just how drastic it is. And this has really caused the president to change his tune about Prime Minister Netanyahu out of Israel. Netanyahu has continually denied that there is mass level starvation happening in Gaza. The president yesterday was asked about this, and he said he doesn't quite agree with Netanyahu's assessment about what is going on there, and saying that they need to get more aid into Gaza to help these starving children and people. The vice president even yesterday said he was, he saw some of the videos and photos coming out, and he said they're shocking and upsetting, and went on to say that Israel needs to do more to let that aid in. That's a change that we've heard from this administration. Normally, when there has been criticism about how the war has played out between Israel and Hamas, blame is usually laid at Hamas for any civilian casualties, any civilian issues that have arisen there. But now this administration is starting to look at Netanyahu and say, look, you need to start letting aid in. You need to start doing more. And not only Israel, but the Gulf states in the region as well. Vice President Vance called on them yesterday to do more to get some aid in. We know that some of those countries around there, Jordan, the Qataris, they're all making an effort to try to get more aid in there. But it's certainly a precarious situation right now for this relationship between Trump and Netanyahu as this mass starvation is playing out. The images are they're just shocking. They really are, can hit you to your core. And this White House is acknowledging that this is not good.
Olivia, President Trump has threatened to levy more sanctions against Russia. But to just be blatant about this, does Putin care about these sanctions?
Well, they've been pretty adept at fending them off so far. I mean, the U.S., the European Union put on a ton of sanctions at the start of the war, thought that they would be crippling to Russia, and they adeptly moved around them. They found markets elsewhere that increased and strengthened their relationship with China, North Korea, India even buys oil and gas from them. So what these sanctions would do, in theory, the new ones, and this is part of that Senate bill that's been working its way through Congress and should be ready to go for the president to sign if he chooses to do so, it broadens the sanctions to not specifically target Russia, but countries that buy oil and gas from them. So think about, some U.S. allies in the region like India. This is the president saying it's time to stop, full stop, all beneficial, sources of income to Russia, like their oil and gas purchasing, cheap oil and gas purchasing, we should add, and, really cripple them in a different kind of way. This would be the first time that we've really broadened those sanctions out to not just impact Russia, but proxies, allied countries, and countries that purchase from them. The hope being that if the pain is that widespread to not only Russia, but other countries, there would be pressure to have them get to the table with Ukraine. It's a change, but certainly broadens out this war on a much larger scale.
CBS White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi. Olivia, before we let you go, we also have a deadline coming up on Friday, another trade deadline. We've obviously had the news from what happened with the EU, but there's other countries still in line here before we get to Friday.
Yeah, August 1st, that deadline is staring us in the face. I will say, there are other countries that need to come to the table to make a deal. India, namely, a big trading partner. Of course, we have a U.S. delegation in Stockholm right now meeting with the Chinese about that potential trade deal. But so far, the White House feels extremely confident about the deals they've been able to get in this latest round of talks. Remember, Trump started sending out those letters to countries, to the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, Japan, saying, here is what you're going to be paying as a tariff. And all of these deals started to come through within that time. So the White House feels good about what they've been able to achieve in the last several weeks. When we ask them, are there going to be more deals made? It's kind of like, well, we've already knocked off the big economies that we trade with, so we're working on the other ones, but they feel pretty solid. So we'll have to see if that date holds, though. They've moved it a couple times, so we shall see.
Olivia Rinaldi from CBS News, CBS White House reporter. Thank you, Olivia. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
9:21. This was in an article, or I should say it was an ad in Vogue magazine. And because of this ad in this magazine, many readers now threatening to cancel their subscription. What was it actually about? That's next.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Don't let them ruin your summer. Vince Vitrano for the Bug Man and Queen Bee. Just had Adam, the Bug Man, out to my house for the stinging insect nest preventer service. And Adam tells me he's getting a lot of requests for this right now because of wasps. Now, this won't keep the bees and other pollinators from doing their important work in your yard or in your garden. What it will do is keep them from building a nest in your roof or inside the house. Local, family, veteran-owned and operated. 20% off your first service when you tell them Vinny sent you. Bugman, queenbee.com.
Is this real? All right, Telly. This is how it reads in the BBC. There's a new supermodel in town. She's striking, she's stylish, and not real. In the August print edition of Vogue, a Guess advertisement features a flawless blonde model showing off a striped maxi dress and then a floral playsuit from the brand's summer collection. In small print in one corner, the ad reveals that she was created using AI. It's not a real model. So as you flip through the Vogue magazine, you come up to a page. There she is. Looks real enough. Looks just like any other real supermodel, really. But it's not a real person.
Just don't try and meet her in person.
Because it won't happen. While Vogue says the AI model was not an editorial decision, it is the first time an AI-generated person has featured or has been featured in the magazine. So now controversy and questions about what this means for real models who have been fighting for greater diversity and for consumers, particularly young people, already struggling with unrealistic beauty standards.
Oh, wow. And I'm sure they don't think about the ramifications of that, meaning that you have now these young ladies that may be aspiring to be models, but they're trying to achieve something that was made up artificially.
I just don't understand the why.
Yeah.
There are plenty of models. Even if, here's the thing. Yeah, you could say that she looks ridiculously perfect. But I've seen a lot of supermodels. I'm sure you have too. Like all of us can agree, a lot of them look ridiculously perfect, even the ones that you take pictures of that are real people.
And then on top of that, once it reaches any sort of publication or online, there are so many airbrushes and filters and things of that nature that can make you perfect or take away any blemishes that you feel makes you imperfect.
That's what's so interesting about this, because you thought we had already moved past that, this desire and need for perfection, or even perfection that's beyond achievement, right? You can't even get to look that well. According to the AI creators, we created 10 draft models for Guess. And he selected one brunette woman and one blonde that we went ahead and developed further, they say. The fashion world was making real progress to be more inclusive in the 2010s, but now, according to some, we're slipping backwards where these people aren't getting booked anymore. The ones who were more inclusive, the ones who may not have been having the perfect shape or looking the perfect way were getting work. Now most of them aren't getting any work, and now the supermodel isn't getting work either because they're creating somebody.
But even on top of that, you're saying this creation is the perfect model. So you're telling everyone that isn't a blonde or brunette that there's no way you could be perfect. So just forget all other ethnicities to say, okay, the only way you could be a perfect model is this, because this is what AI came with.
Well, but that's the AI people's points, though, too. They're saying ultimately all advertisements are created to look perfect and are created to look perfect and usually have supermodels. So what are we doing that's different? They're questioning, how are we different because we're creating an AI version of what is already considered unattainable by most of us.
What are you doing? You're taking away jobs from real people.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Thought this was kind of interesting too. They say they admit that their AI images on their company's Instagram page, the company that created this ad, are lacking in diversity and promote unrealistic beauty standards. They say they have tried to be more inclusive, but it's the users who don't engage much with those posts. Hey, we've tried to add a couple of pounds, but no one wants to look at those pictures.
Well, this is one point that we're definitely overlooking, and this came in on our text line, and it says, I guess they don't have to pay as much.
Maybe, but it still costs 6 figures or more to have AI create this picture. It wasn't like this was just done by ChatGPT.
Right.
Now, you would think maybe it would get cheaper. I guess you don't have photographers, you don't have lighters, you don't have a studio, you don't have 3 supermodels, you don't have a makeup artist.
Yeah.
9:28 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
We ran the numbers. Overseas furniture makers charge an extra 38% to package and ship iffy furniture to the Midwest.
So out of $1,000, you're paying $380 for nothing that makes the product better.
But 82% of Penny Mustard's furniture is made within 300 miles of us.
So we're able to invest that extra $380 into higher quality materials and craftsmanship.
American-made furniture that lasts for generations.
When you shop at Penny Mustard, it adds up.
PennyMustard.com.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in-store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More, the place to go for sipping rosés with seltzers on ice, making margaritas with your favorite tequilas. It's warm out, let's go. Our prices are low on spirits, beer, and wine. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
Time to stock up on deals at Fleet Farm's Truckload Super Sale, July 31st through August 3rd. Get a Blackstone 28-inch Omnivore griddle bundle for just $269.99. Our own 24 packs of drinking water are 4 for $10. A WorkMax linkable 30-inch LED shop light is only $6.59. And 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are just $18.99. Head to your local Fleet Farm to haul away truckload savings. And check out our weekly ad for even more deals at fleetfarm.com.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The president talking about the deadly shooting in New York City.
President Trump in Scotland posts on social media Tuesday morning that he was briefed on the shooting that took place Monday evening in Midtown Manhattan, saying it's a place that he knows and loves. The president said he trusts law enforcement will determine why the suspect committed what he calls, quote, a senseless act of violence, and says his heart is with the families of the 4 victims. Police sources tell ABC the man who opened fire in the Manhattan office building that houses the NFL headquarters had a note claiming he suffered from the brain disease CTE. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
There is a suspect in custody in Nevada, and 3 people are dead following a shooting outside a casino in Reno. Hotel guests said they saw people running and screaming away from the resort's valet area Tuesday. The intense heat that's been blanketing much of the country will continue for at least another day for most of us. Federal Reserve has started its July 2-day meeting. It's not expected to raise interest rates. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 9:31.
Milwaukee police are searching for a missing 13-year-old after her mother received a threatening phone call and text messages. Jamila Norwood was last in contact with her family Monday near 24th and Burleigh. Now, while on the phone, Norwood's mother heard a voice in the background threaten to beat and push her daughter down the stairs. Later, she received messages from unknown numbers stating that her daughter was dead. Demanding to find out more information here. We do have information online. You can find information with including photos at WTMJ.com.
Milwaukee leaders have scheduled an emergency meeting at City Hall aiming to address recent violence in downtown. The Public Health and Safety Committee will meet in a special session on Wednesday. The agenda includes demanding communication from Milwaukee Police and the Office of Community Wellness and Safety regarding their plans to address violence in downtown. The meeting follows multiple shootings on Water Street this past weekend, a car crash through a protective barrier injuring 2 women July 20th, and a deadly shooting outside Element Lounge earlier in the month.
A medical issue leads to a driver crashing into Aldi in Greenfield. Police say the car crashed into the front of the grocery store on 108th and Cold Spring Road Monday morning. No one hurt inside the vehicle or inside the store.
Milwaukee's War Memorial Center is seeking more money to preserve the facility. A fundraising campaign launched Monday aims to raise $18 million. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports Milwaukee County's financial contribution to the War Memorial Center will hit zero by 2034.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 42 to 44,795. NASDAQ up 39 to 21,217. And the S&P is up 6 to 63,96. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. WTMJ time saver traffic 94 eastbound Highway 16 through the zoo and into the city is looking good. That should be about a 17-minute ride, so you're okay there. We're seeing some typical slowdowns in some spots. 43 southbound is slow getting into the downtown area right now. You're going to see some heavy delays at times there. There is a crash right around Fond du Lac Avenue there on 43 South. You'll get around it, but it's slowing things down a bit. People keeping an eye on that situation. 94 northbound from Layton into downtown, you also see some slowdowns in that stretch too, right? Starting at Howard and Holt Avenue, you'll see those slowdowns. You'll get through it, but it might take you an extra minute or two.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A chance for some morning showers, pop-up PM showers tonight, but it's going to be hot and humid once again with a high of 86. Tonight's mostly cloudy with a low of 68. Tomorrow on Wednesday, showers and storms likely, but cooler high of 77. And then Thursday on, it's a gradual clearing, sunny and cooler with highs in the mid-70s on Thursday and Friday. And on Saturday, mainly sunny with a high of 77. In Milwaukee, it's 77 degrees. Outdoor living unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 9:35.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 timber tech deck builder. Building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
When's the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or your back just aching? Or you walked down a flight of stairs without groaning, step by step, right? When's the last time you felt good? The pain never disappears, nothing changes, and you just kind of tough it out. WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for QC Kinetics. Well, the time is now to set up your free consultation with the pros at QC Kinetics. Their regenerative treatments help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies that can help you. There's no knives, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. You can set up a consultation for free, and you can bring your x-rays and your old MRIs for a no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation. Call QC Kinetics. Worst case, you learn something new. Best case, you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Marilyn.
The staff is fabulous. They feel as much like friends as the people that live there. We go to lunch at the cafe, book talk at 1, team trivia at 2, bags at 3, and then it's dinner time. That's a typical Tuesday. Three Pillars, in one word, happiness. It's a gorgeous campus.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
Hey, it's your favorite car dealer, Honest Eddie. Is it true that there are no employees at Hasselus Mattress?
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, you gotta pressure people. Like, what do I have to do to get you into a new mattress today?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Wisconsin's Morning News, Telly Hughes in for Vince Vetrano. Okay, Telly, so when I asked you earlier today, new research is out about how much time the typical American grown-up spends cruising the web. So this would include work, school, streaming, scrolling, shopping, like all of those things online. How much is the typical American grown-up spending online? What did you say, 6 hours?
I was way off. I said 6.5 hours.
6.5 hours, which is still a lot, by the way.
Yeah. That was my max, actually.
So according to the new research, typical American grown-up spends 10 hours a day doing all of those things. Now, that does include work, and I know this isn't the case for everybody, but a lot of people do work online, we do here anyway, like when you're getting any kind of information or researching anything or prepping for whatever story, oftentimes you're online reading about it. So that all counts. I assume other people do that too, or if they have a just sit back and wait type of job, they're scrolling their phone to just kill some time.
Yeah, but I would say, okay, in this particular instance, this is a 4-hour show, so that's only 4 hours. So what about the other 6? Like, you're doing stuff, and you can't say it's all productive when you are online for 10 hours a day. I that seems very excessive.
Well, I think I would have almost guessed more, and here's why. Because think about it, a typical work day is 8 hours. So if you're doing anything online, even if it's work-related, that counts. You're doing anything off work when you're at home, just reading up on something, scrolling, whatever, FaceTiming with somebody, that would count. If you're streaming any shows, that would count.
But for 8 hours, like, we just can't say the entire 8 hours. That means you are online when you're at lunch as well, because that includes your lunch hour.
Yes,
and so,
in your point.
Yes, but to me, that just seems like that is just so excessive. Like,
Telly, people use the washroom on their phones.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Think about how much stuff people post, and you're like, I wonder when they were posting that. They were probably on the can.
You're very true. That is very true, because a lot of people, the first thing they do when they wake up is check their phone, check their social media, check this, and then boom, it just starts from there, and it doesn't stop until you go to bed. And so, but that to me, that's a lot of time to be looking at a screen. I mean, in all actuality, if it's a computer screen or if it's your phone screen, that's a lot of screen time.
I'm trying to remember. On Sundays, you always get that, at least for Apple, you always get that little
the little alert. Yes.
That says how much time you spent on your phone. I'm trying to remember
like, this week you're up. You're up to 7 hours, or this week you're down 15%.
And you feel like you have to defend yourself to the phone. You're like, well, we were in a plane. I was watching movies on the plane. Come on.
So I know when that pops up, because each week I try to decrease it. And so when I see something and it says, oh, it was up this week to 7 hours, I'm like, man, I got to find a way to curb that, because if I see 6 hours of average screen time, I'm like, that's still a lot of time to be looking at my phone.
Yeah.
But you don't realize how often you just check your phone. If you're checking an email, or you may check your social media, or, to pick it up, make a call, or FaceTime, like you said. And I'm like, I just don't want to be a slave to my phone, because there are a lot of people that if they lose their phone for an hour, they feel like their life is over with.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes I like if my phone dies, because I don't have, I have an excuse to not be on my phone.
Being on vacation, that's one of my favorite things, is just letting the phone die.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
This is interesting, though, this part. So it says, as far as streaming shows, 55% of us stream shows on a TV. So 45% of us then are watching a show on some type of tablet or phone. And that's not a big number, 55%. So just half of us, a little bit more than half of us, are watching it on like a 40-inch or something of that size versus just the tiny little phone. You're watching Game of Thrones on this tiny little phone.
Right. I know my wife, she streams a lot of stuff on her phone. And
now, why is that? Just because it's easier that way? Or
no, because I don't particularly care to watch the stuff that she watches. So,
so it's a youth thing.
Or I'll go to another room and she can watch what she likes to watch. She likes to watch a lot of reality TV.
Okay,
I'm not a fan at all. Have never been a fan.
I respect your decision on this.
So I could see how those pick up because usually most of these shows last at least an hour. So if you're watching one episode, that's an hour right there. And so a lot of people binge watch, and so you could see how that number can increase. Now, I get that part, but outside of streaming shows, I still think that is a lot of time to be on your phone.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is 9:43. We have new details about what exactly happened in downtown New York, in Midtown, on Monday. We'll bring it to you next.
WTMJ, Steve Scafidi here. Will rates go up or down? We'll know more on July 30th. That's when the Fed announces its next rate decision. Join Annex Wealth Management's chief economist, Dr. Brian Jacobson, for Instant Insight at 3 p.m. on July 30th. Instant Insight is when Annex goes live after important announcements like the Fed's announcement to help explain what it means for you and your money. When it comes to your financial future, a bit of expert insight could help you understand what's going on. Register now at WTMJ.com or events at AnnexWealth.com. July 30th at 3 p.m. live after the Fed announcement.
Wow, a bomb by Yelich.
Join the crew for an electric matchup when the Brewers host the Mets August 8th through the 10th. The weekend starts with a celebration at Service Saros Night on Friday the 8th, featuring makers markets, music, and more. Then don't miss an all-new Christian Yelich bobblehead giveaway on Saturday the 9th, courtesy of American Family Insurance. Close out the series with Sunday matinee baseball and a limited edition Jacob Mizorowski t-shirt giveaway. Grab your tickets at Brewers.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong wind and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $250 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia problems, cognitive decline. It's their specialty. They're great at it. And they also offer early memory loss classes. They can help your loved one with locations throughout our state, many here in southeast Wisconsin. I've been in their facilities. They're top notch. It's kindness at the core. It's compassion and empathy at Azura. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Never gets easy.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams there. This following a deadly shooting in Midtown late Monday afternoon.
And 3 other innocent civilians are also dead. 2 males and 1 female, and another male is seriously injured.
This happened,
fighting for his life in critical condition.
This happened inside a skyscraper on Park Avenue. This shooting, Shane Tamura of Nevada is the shooter. He opened fire in the lobby of this skyscraper before he then jumped in an elevator. ABC's Josh Margolin.
As the evening rush was taking hold and people were heading home, this individual drives up on Park Avenue, double parks the way that people do in Manhattan, gets out of the car. He has a rifle in plain view and walks with great purpose directly into a main door of this Manhattan skyscraper, and he starts firing at people.
If you've seen the video or the pictures of him walking into the building, there's surveillance of that. It's chilling. I mean, he's just walking in with a purpose, as you heard Josh say, carrying this weapon. So when he got inside, the New York City Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch walked through it.
The building's security camera footage shows the shooter enter the lobby, turn right,
and immediately opened fire on an NYPD officer. He then shoots a woman who took cover behind a pillar and proceeds through the lobby, spraying it with gunfire. He makes his way to the elevator bank, where he shoots a security guard who was taking cover behind the security desk.
This happened at 345 Park Avenue, commercial office building with a bunch of tenants, including KPMG, Blackstone, the NFL headquarters. So why did he do it? Well, now we're learning that this guy had a problem with the NFL.
In Tamura's pocket, police said they found what sources described as a rambling, 3-page handwritten note that claimed he suffered from traumatic brain injury and made vague references to the NFL, which is headquartered at 345 Park Avenue. Growing up in Los Angeles, Tamura did play football. It's not clear he actually suffered from CTE, but that note is an important clue as investigators urgently try to track down why he drove cross-country and targeted that building.
Yeah, he drove. There's shots of him. They've been able to document where he was, like he was in Colorado on Saturday, he was in Omaha Sunday, he was in New Jersey on Monday, and then just pulled up, parked his car in Park Avenue and went into the building.
Yeah, and Eric, I also, I was just thinking about the timing of this because it happened in the late afternoon, and I would assume that that was probably the most unguarded time of the day, meaning that you're at the end of your day. You're not thinking about anything else like, okay, it's time to wrap up, and you're not on high alert or about anything. You would think it's just a typical day, and then it turns out to be anything but at the end of your day. So I was just thinking about it where I know that had to be a very, very scary situation to have that happen at the end of your workday or at any point in your workday.
Right.
But I know that I'm sure most of the people there were relaxed and just it was a typical day, and then all of a sudden it wasn't.
He would go to the 33rd floor where he would shoot another person before taking his own life. They said after the fact he was looking for NFL headquarters. He went in the wrong elevator bank. Because if anyone who's ever been in one of those taller skyscrapers, it's not like it goes from 1 to 90 in one elevator bank. Usually you have to take different ones to get to different places, or some only start at the 30th floor and go up or something like that. And he just went in the wrong one. So 5 people shot, 4 of them killed. Again, he would take his own life. As for the NFL, they are responding to this.
In a note to employees of the NFL, one of the high-profile tenants of 345 Park, Commissioner Roger Goodell sharing that a league employee was seriously injured in the attack. He is in the hospital in stable condition. And Goodell also writing that employees should work from home, at least for today, adding, quote, "We will get through this together."
Now, we should point out that he did appear to have a history of mental illness. That's according to NYPD. They learned that from their colleagues in Las Vegas. But as of now, no word, as you heard Aaron Kotursky report earlier, that he did actually suffer from CTE. He never played in the NFL himself.
Yeah.
It's 9:51.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. Finally, tomorrow, maybe I can convince the house at my place, convince my family to open the windows. Even with all this humidity, I've been pushing them to open the windows because I want to use our new windows we got from Tri-County Contracting. Ever since they've been installed, we've had to keep them shut this whole time. We've had the air on.
Wait till next week.
I just want to.
One more week, Eric.
Got these double-hung windows that are so nice. I just want to enjoy the breeze. I just want to see it come through there. And I even asked Ange yesterday, and she's like, "What are you talking about? It's brutal outside." So maybe tomorrow, Tri-County Contracting. WI.com is the website. They have worry-free roofing, siding, and also windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck. with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
While our former manager thought things would be different down south, did he ever consider that the ivy may not be greener on the other side?
So glad he left. Addition by subtraction.
It's the Brewers and the Cubs in Milwaukee.
And they're coming back to Milwaukee with the best record in baseball in their back pocket.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05. This series is sponsored by IKEA in Oak Creek. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
WTMJ's Wisconsin's Morning News. Our thanks to Lori Nickel, Brian Niznansky, Jason Wilde, Mark Sommerhauser from the Wisconsin Policy Forum talking wheel tax, Olivia Rinaldi from CBS handling the White House, and of course Pat Murphy from your First Place Milwaukee Brewers. You can find all of it on our podcast page. Just text the word Vince to 855-616-1620 on the Saturday Unlimited WTMJ text line, and we'll send it to you. Pancake has that all diced up already. Speaking of the Brewers,
1-2 pitch and a fly ball left center field. This is well struck. This is gone. Andrew Vaughn, his 9th of the season, his 4th as a Brewer, and the Brewers lead it 5-3.
Andrew Vaughn helping lead the Brewers to a big win on Monday night at AmFam Field. So that trade worked, right?
Every trade the Brewers make work.
But they also made another one just yesterday, just for a backup catcher.
Yes, a backup catcher from Tampa Bay who is an Appleton native. His name is Danny Jansen, and some much-needed insurance, because I think people may fail to realize that William Contreras has been catching with a fractured middle finger on his catching hand the entire season.
So one thing to remember about this is that when you trade for someone, that means someone else's life has changed dramatically. And Pat Murphy talked about that with us today, Brewers 360. He mentioned the other backup, Erik Haas, who currently is no longer with the team because of this trade.
Huge member of our team, huge member of the clubhouse, leader, been with us for 2 years, been through thick and thin. Oh, yeah, that was no fun. It's still no fun. It still hurts. You know, I still reach back out to him today. His family, and his family's part of this thing. He's got 4 kids. Really tough. Now, I do think in his case that if he makes it through waivers, he comes back with.
Yeah, so they think he might be able to come back if he gets through waivers, so maybe they pull him back in. But it's just different. You know, when you think about that, here's a guy who's a leader in the clubhouse, and boom, gone. It can happen that easily.
And just think about it. You're in limbo for several days.
Right.
You don't know if you should just stay in Milwaukee. Do you go back to where you live in the offseason, or because you don't know what's going to happen?
The trade deadline is Thursday. The one trade we do know did work, the Andrew Vaughn one.
Yes.
I'm so glad that Aaron Savali demanded that trade. Swing and a miss from Dansby
Swan. Here's the secret no one's telling you about those trendy weight loss shots.